What's going on, Internet? The Black Okage here, aka TBH. And to be honest, I'd like to welcome everybody back to the Gaming Illuminaughty podcast. We are the Enlightened Gamers, and you're now tuned in to episode 164. If you're watching the video version of the show at youtube.com/GI updates, know this show is available on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, and all major podcast platforms. If you're watching on Apple or Spotify, please rate the show 5 stars. And if you're watching on YouTube, please hit the like button and then hit the hype button. We're not gaslighting you. We swear it exists. When you hit that hype button, the show will appear on YouTube's new hype charts, which helps bring in new viewers to the world's best weekly gaming podcast. Also, if you like social media, follow us there. We drop content all the time. We're available on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Discord, and Facebook. Our handles is on most platforms is at GI Updates, with the exception being Facebook. It's facebook.com/GI Podcast. Links to all our social media platforms will be in the description box below. And with the promotions out of the way, allow me to introduce you to my co-host, the first of which has been regularly checking in to make sure New York City still exists after the Knicks have won the chip. Ethos, say what up to the people.
What up, everybody? Congratulations to the Knicks. Y'all still couldn't beat the Pistons, though. Okay.
You know they're about to get on you, right?
I don't care. I love the Knicks.
Just let them have the championship.
Not when y'all got to play against us, but I cheered for y'all. I didn't want the Spurs to win.
The Knicks championship is like Haley's Comet. It comes around every 170 years, you know. Let them enjoy it.
They just finally caught up with the Pistons.
that gives hope for the Wizards that we could be next, baby. Let's go. Draft season. My second co-host is the lady who streams for 8 hours a day, then proceeds to record the podcast with us because it's no days off. She actually just did it now. Miss 5,000 watts. Say what up.
I've been slacking this week. They've been short streams. I'm ashamed and disappointed in myself, and I will issue an apology tomorrow on stream. Thank you.
Is it because it's just not enough games? Is that why?
I'm tired.
I feel that.
There's too many games and I'm tired.
So just don't got the energy. And then last but not least is the man who ran outside in 99-degree Florida weather the screen to the sky in his Team USA World Cup jersey, because it's always that time of year where he likes to pretend he's a football fan. Matter of fact, you'll probably see it in the thumbnail. If not this one, in a future one. I'm going to use it because I did save that image. UTX, go the Don.
I'm glad I was able to give you another meme. I am meme worthy. Hey, come on, man. You know, every 4 years, bro. Every 4 years, I gotta lock in, bro. It's exciting, man. It's exciting. And USA did put belt to ass on Paraguay, though, 4-1.
I did see it. It was
the first time we've ever done that in World Cup history, which is crazy because we sucked. The women have been awesome, but we've sucked as a bit. Yeah, so we're gonna see, man. Maybe this is a good sign, and maybe we can actually, go somewhere this time.
Trump gonna show up and ruin it.
Nah, man. Nah.
Part of me hopes he does, so we can.
My Dami was at some games. I show Speed was at some games. We gotta get some good luck there, man.
My Donnie's there every game.
Yeah.
Come on over there, bro.
Oh my goodness, that's freaking funny. All right, man. So since the last podcast, we've had, I want to say, a major release because it kind of got shadow dropped out of nowhere. It was supposed to come out next week, but like last second, they decided to release the beta for Empulse, the new 6v6 arcade shooter that's supposed to be the spiritual successor to Titanfall. It comes from the people who make Splitgate 1 and 2. It's available now for PC. It's not on console. I don't know if it's coming from console. Don't ask us. If anybody knows in the comments, let us know. But since we had some time before the podcast, me, Ethos, and Watts hopped on the game. And JG said he got a few games in himself. So we're going to share our thoughts on that before talking about the news. So ladies first, give us the good, bad, and the ugly on Impulse, Watts. Is it the Titanfall 3 we've been waiting for?
It's not really like Titanfall, I don't think. I don't think it really plays like Titanfall or feels like Titanfall. So Empulse is the way that it's doing its movement is you have a jetpack. So when you're watching gameplay, it probably looks pretty floaty because people are like staying in the air and floating. They're not just like on the wall running or on the floor, like you can kind of float. So a big part of this game is you have grapple hooks, you can wall run, you have a grenade that basically throws like a slip and slide on the floor or on the wall, and that makes you go just really fast, and it makes you able to just like slide everywhere. So that's kind of the big thing to get used to with the game's movement is running around and using your grapple, using the jetpack because you don't have it forever. It goes down kind of like a stamina bar. And then getting used to throwing down that grenade and going faster and slipping around all over the place. So that took a little bit of getting used to. I didn't like the slide initially. I was like, they got to change the slide because you can just slide infinitely forever and you're sliding pretty fast. And I didn't like that.
You could never
But
touch the ground.
You could, yeah, exactly. And I was like, I don't know, man. It feels a bit too floaty. But then once I kind of switched my mindset to it being a jetpack and then having these things that enhance your jetpack, it kind of started to click a little bit more. So I think movement feels good. It just takes a little bit of getting used to. I think guns feel good. I really like their audio design on when you get kills, when you like hit people with a melee. I think all of that is sounding really good. So I had fun for like 2.5 hours. I had a good time in the game. I think it's rewarding to get used to the gunplay and the movement and tracking while being so fast. I think the mechs are kind of nothing burgers though. The way that they work are kind of like Halo power weapons more than Titanfall mechs, where one just spawns on a timer in an area, everyone knows where it is, and then you can go over to it, hold a button, and then you're in it, and then you can like shoot some guns. You got a little shield, but it's nothing crazy. They don't look crazy either. It's basically like having a power weapon more than a mech, I would say. So I've kind of underwhelmed by the mechs. In Titanfall, the thing that felt really good about mechs is one, each of you had like an individual mech that you could work towards. So it kind of felt like you had an objective every game that you were working towards on a personal level. So even if your team wasn't doing good, if you were popping off, you could get your mech, and like that felt cool. Also, the animations on getting into the mech, they're like non-existent in Empulse, which I would like to see them put something in there. Another cool thing with Titanfall is that you could like smack people out of the air. You could like run over them. And that felt really cool as a power fantasy in the mech. And you can't really do any of that with these mechs. And then also in Titanfall, when you were coming into contact with a mech, you could get on top of them and like shoot the pilot and rip them out, which was really cool too. And they don't really have any of that. It's just like a big health bar that you're shooting down as a team, and then the mech's gone. So I would like to see them maybe delve a little bit more into the mech with more mech variety and then more ways to interact with the mech, both in it and out of it. But overall, I had a good time playing. Time went real fast. I don't know what longevity looks like because I honestly, with arena shooters that are just like play for fun arena shooters, I don't really know what you do to keep people playing for long term. But yeah, I had a good time with it. I had a good time.
JG, is this the next big movement shooter?
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Say with your chest.
I will say this. So I think that 1047 did a decent job at trying to recreate the movement in Titanfall. It feels similar. It feels similar. I feel like they didn't do a 1-to-1 copy. I mean, if they did a 1-to-1 copy, it might have been better. Actually, if they did. But I think it was a decent attempt to try to recreate that I guess at this point nostalgia of Titanfall. I unfortunately did not get a chance to get in the mech, but someone on my team had the mech, and I wasn't just looking for it. I was just trying to get used to the movement and the shooting and whatnot. I do agree with what Watt said. I think that the shooting feels actually really good. So that's one positive that I can say. I think that the movement again it's fair. It's fair. The ink thing is kind of a little weird. What I was saying, I was like, because to me, like, it initially looked like something that I'm not supposed to go into. So I was like, is that danger zone? Am I gonna die? But I was like, oh, it makes you like a super crackhead. Okay, so that's cool. But I feel like it's an interesting attempt, but I don't know if that's gonna really translate to like something that I prefer, or it's an interesting concept. I'll just say that it's an interesting concept in terms of gameplay. I seen Ethos playing. Ethos was he was popping out there, man. He was the last. He said no. He said they were trying hard out there, and you had a little 5 kill streak in the last time. Now I done looked at you on the stream. But I see y'all said people try real hard, which again that's par for the course, man. They gonna try hard in everything that's there. But yeah, I think that longevity wise, I don't know. This is a big what if, because I feel like now, especially because we have way too many games to play and we have all of these live service games that people just will not get off of, it's going to be very hard for you to get an audience and take people away from the things that they are used to, and or take people away from things that they are actually anticipating. So that's just my thing. I cannot say definitively that this game will last. I just don't know exactly what audience that this is trying to capture other than the Titanfall audience. And will it capture the Titanfall audience? Will it get some people who play Apex on there? Like, I just don't know. These are all what ifs, but I cannot say from what I've played that I'm super confident that they will. Again, I'm not saying that they're going to fail. I'm just trying to be realistic, and I just don't think that from what I saw and what I played that I'm super confident. I'll play it a little bit, but right now I can't say this is something that I'll be on a month from now, 2 months from now, whatever it officially comes out. So that's just my thing. Like, will it even be worth my time if I actually find myself enjoying it a little bit? Will it just quickly die? Is it going to get Steam DB watched? Like, we don't know. It's going to be so many things. So I think overall, like, it's decent, but I just don't think it's exceptionally well, especially in the FPS genre, to capture that audience and keep it long term.
Well, I think it's already being Steam DB watched because Ethos said earlier it had less players than Marathon, so it's dead. How do you want to clarify that?
Oh,
Yeah, that's what Watts told me.
We had to check if we were allowed to have fun mid-match.
Yeah.
I was like, hold on, guys. I didn't check the charts yet.
Yeah. Watts said, hold on, we got to check. And then
We got to check.
I lowered my excitement based off of that information. I mean, I think it's really good. I think when it comes to, I agree with what everyone's saying. I think when it comes to like the character, like that level of detail, when it comes to like the gunplay and the movement, I think they did a pristine job at that. I really don't think you could have made it any better in that sense, because I feel like they nailed every tenet that I think Titanfall has when it comes to movement and how people want that movement. I'd say it's this weird mix of, a little bit of Titanfall, Black Ops 3, and I know some people have also been bringing up Hyperscape, which I see why people are bringing that up from like an artistic standpoint. So it's like a fusion of all three of those together. And really, like, it does a lot of these things, like what you said, like it's competent, like it does what it needs to do, and it does it correctly. And there's nothing like heinous about its design that you're just like, oh my God, this is just unplayable. But I will say is that I think Titan, and I've said this multiple times against the dismay of a lot of people who like Titanfall, especially the sweats. They don't like Titans, and they think that the game would be better off if it would have been more successful if there were no Titans in Titanfall. But I'd be like, if you did that, you just got Fall. You don't have Titanfall. You just have Fall. But it seems like the devs of this game probably were of that ilk, or they took that feedback from Titanfall and they decided, okay, we're going to put the tech mechs in such a secondary like, I guess, form or state of the gameplay. And as a result, I think now we have basically what feels like on one side, something's very well done, and then the mech side feels very like half cooked. I don't know if it's just due to, which I can imagine, I don't know if it's just due to like implementing that actual system that Titanfall uses, like that level of like animations and the way they work and the balance between the mechs and the pilots. I don't know if Ember like probably looked at it and they said, because I think they said they worked on this for a little bit over a year.
Yeah, not long at all.
Yeah, I just think it's just literally they didn't have the time. I think that because when they knew Splitgate was going down, they probably were like, okay, we're on a clock. We got to get something out here or some way to like keep our whatever group of fans that we have or something like that like occupied, so we have something that might be live. Well, we couldn't get it we had it with Splitgate 1, and then we kind of flopped it with Splitgate 2. Let's see if we can get the Titanfall people on, because they've been begging us for this type of thing. So I think in this standpoint, it's just like they were just like, all right, we're going to early access this, and maybe in that near year they're going to overhaul the mechs. I wouldn't be shocked if they didn't, but to put it as like a power weapon basically, and like if you really think about it, like the gunplay feels really good. It feels almost like Halo in the respect of like you're not really ADSing. Like the ADS reminds me of Halo's ADS, where it's like more like a scope zoom in. It's not really like a actual ADS unless you have a weapon that actually has a scope. So kind of reminds me of like Halo Infinite in that regard. But the gunplay is like yeah, you can just spray from the hip. Like all the bullets are going to be 100% accurate wherever you're aiming from the hip. And the sliding and stuff like that, like it does it really well. In regards to what we're talking about, like what does this look like long term? I could see how like maybe there's like a dedicated, or it's a nostalgia pool. Like I think some Titanfall fans will pick it up and try it because like they love Titanfall. But I think the same things that I think the Titanfall fans still have not come to accept about that game's failure, outside of just it's always it's just because it was between Battlefield and Infinite Warfare, and that's why it died. And then you bring up to them, and you say, okay, if that was true, then what happened when it had its resurgence, when it was $2 and everybody bought the game and was playing it and the player count went up? Why did all of a sudden it die again? It died multiple times. I was like, so why did it die again? And again, a lot of it's going to come down to is that player base diverse enough? And if that game is just going to be a very tight-knit community, kind of like Marathon in that respect, where it's like it's a smaller community than what, you know, the bigger competitors in the shooter space could be. But if all of it's full of sweats and everybody's like tip top of their game, you know, the people we was playing earlier was, we were just like, oh my God, this dude is just dunking me. Like, if that's going to be the people that are left on the server, you're not going to be able to get any new players to get into your game, your ecosystem, and want to learn how to get better. I think we're in a world now where I think the current generation of gamers, the younger generation, the people that are currently playing right now, they don't want to play something where they can't immediately be good at it. They don't want to play something that requires them to feel bad and try to learn how to get better at it. They want instant gratification now. So I think that's kind of where Titanfall kind of died. I kind of what we're saying. I hate to say this with my soul, because these are games I grew up with. These are games that I love and adore, and games that I've stand for years, and even growing up and even as an adult. I think we're just in an era where these games that we loved and beholden as kids, or even were just a decade ago, don't work now. Kids don't want to play. People don't want to play them now.
They don't want them.
They're hooked on Apex. They're hooked on Valorant. They're hooked on Fortnite. What are they, TBH? 2K? Call of Duty?
Best-selling game of last year.
This is what they're hooked on. They're not going to try anything else. But no, shout out. Hold on though. But real talk though. One side note. I do want to give a special shout outs to oh my God, why am I blanking on his name?
Yeah, you're old. Can't remember.
He was just streaming. He was just streaming. I'm washed.
JD?
He was just streaming. No. Last week he's playing Elden Ring. You and me were like, oh my God, he's playing Elden Ring right now.
Oh, you're talking about Dooms.
Dooms, thank you. I'm sorry. Dooms. I want to give a special shout out to Dooms, because I saw he took the title, he took that on his chest. He said, yo, Ball and Gun Gamer playing Elden Ring for the first time. But he was playing, he was learning, he was fighting the first Elden Lord, you know, getting suplexed, but he said he was enjoying himself. So shout out to him. Yeah, shout out to him. That's what's called growth. That's what we love to see. He's better than a lot of his peers. So yeah, but that's where we're at. Yeah.
Impulse. Hope we get some free codes. I'm not trying to pay for this game. I ain't gonna hold you.
Dang, not even $20, bro. You think it's worth 20? You don't think it's worth $20?
$20?
Because it comes down. What it is like, listen, man. It's like, yeah, I can afford it, but it's like the longevity of it. I don't want to pay for it. And then like, this is a game I see, like, if y'all are like, yo, hop on, let's play. I'd be like, sure, but when I was playing it, I was like, do I really want to play this on that's when I know I really like a multiplayer game. Do I really want to play this on my own time when I have nobody else to play with? Let me grind it. I was like, I don't know if I would play this, because I played for an hour and a half or something like that. And I played mainly with randoms. That shit was horrible, bro. And then they found out I was on the game, so I joined their party and we started winning like some matches. Like, granted, a lot of games are like that, but like this is really bad with randoms, bro. It was a nightmare because of the movement, to the point where I was like, I don't know if I like this. And then when I got with them, I was having some level of fun. So like the positives, I do like the movement. It's fun. You never have to touch the ground. It's super fast, but it's like, I will also say on the flip side, you do got to be in a good mood. You gotta get a high sleep score on your Aura ring, if you know what I'm talking about. Like, you cannot be tired playing this game. So like, you're only going to be available to play it sometimes, because not every day you're going to be in a good mood. I think that the abilities are cool with the wall running. Like, I didn't realize there was a perk system until like 2-3 games in. Like, there's one perk when you get a kill, it makes you faster. You turn into a fucking crackhead, and if you love movement, you're going to be moving really fast. It just took a second for me to adjust to the movement, because they were calling that like, we're inspired by Titanfall. But like, to me, this feels like Black Ops 3 meets Halo. That was another thing I was fucking up on too.
It's floaty.
Yeah, it's super floaty, but like the gunplay, I kept aiming down this. I think the ADS sucks in this game. It's hard.
There's no point unless you're like
horrible.
using a long range weapon across like the bridge or something.
So it took me about 3 games to figure out. I'm like, oh, I have to play this like Halo. Let me just aim down the sight. That's when I started putting in a little bit of work. But I'm like, why put an ADS in the game, period, if it's not going to work to some degree? Like, at long range, it still feels terrible. I don't think I've ever played a shooter where for that hour that I played, I swear like 30 minutes, like I was pausing and just going in the settings. Like I had to tweak the sensitivity so many times. And like I tried mouse and keyboard and controller. And I'm like, that's what I was telling you. I was like, am I washed? But then I'm like, no, I was like, I just played fucking Battlefield. Me and Siggy was going crazy in that shit. But I'm like, it just feels like the game is so fast paced, but they still haven't found that sweet spot to make all the guns hit. With the pacing of the game. I think they got the movement right, but I don't agree with y'all that the gunplay is 100% there. But it's okay. When you get a kill, it feels fun. I do agree with y'all. The mechs are kind of pointless. It's like a power weapon. I don't like the fact that the mechs don't have any movement. They made a movement shooter, and in Titanfall, the mechs had movement. And this is just kind of like they're a big ass hulking tank. And it's pretty easy to die. Even as like a person, when you're shooting at them, you do a good amount of damage with your rifle to them. So it's like you can get pinned down and you can get blown up pretty quickly. So it's like, what's the purpose? It negates the power fantasy of it all. So I think the pricing of the game would depend on whether or not I get it. I had some fun with it, but I was like, oof. But all these games coming out in September, this demo didn't make me feel the way Mortal Shell 2's demo made me feel. Like when I played that Mortal Shell 2 demo, I said, I don't give a fuck what else is coming out in September. I got to put at least a couple hours. I'm going to find a way. I didn't play this and I was like, I'm willing to lose sleep. That's where I'm at. Am I willing to lose sleep over this game? The answer is no. But it's okay.
I think that's fair. Yeah, I was talking to my chat like right before we got on the podcast about like, we used to play arena shooters all day and have fun, and this was before battle passes, before like all of this stuff, and I was like, what kept us playing? And I think it's a mixture of things of like, there's now like 20,000 something games that come out every year, whereas back then there was not that much. And then in the shooter online space was even less. You maybe had the choice of like 3 or 4 shooters, something like that. So that was just less stuff pulling your attention. But then I think for me, stuff like kill streaks in Call of Duty, I think helped a lot because I was always working towards something in the game. I wasn't just like, oh, I'm going to go in the match and like shoot things. And, if I pop off, cool. It was, you were always working towards a kind of reward. So I think Titanfall kind of had that too, right? Because you were working towards your mech, but this doesn't really have anything that you're working towards in the game. They are going with a paid model, so you are going to be able to unlock skins and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. For longevity, I think arena shooters really struggle with that. And I think for me, I was trying to think as well, if this game had like an art style that I really loved, would that make a difference? I think it would make a difference. I think it does go a long way. I think the visual style for the game is kind of doesn't do anything.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, I think another thing that rubbed me the wrong way, it just feels like I can feel the Splitgate DNA. It feels like a Splitgate asset flip to me.
It feels very familiar to you. It doesn't like they didn't do anything different here.
The UI, it feels like a Splitgate on Earth 2. And I think it's because of the art and the UI. It's directly from Splitgate 2, but the thing is a lot of people didn't play that, so they didn't see it. I played that game and I'm like, I kind of feel like I played this game, but they just sped it up basically. So I'm like, it depends on how much content it launches with and the price. I saw a video I was watching earlier from a YouTuber that got early access, and I guess they said in a Discord call to the people that were there, the creators, that the game will launch at less than $30, but they were saying, well, we don't know what that means. That could be $29.99, $24.95, something like that. But if what he said is true, the game will launch at less than $30. My gut tells me $29.99 for some reason. I don't know if I'd pay $30 for this game. I don't know, man. Maybe 20, but it's just too many games coming out. And it's like, if I'm not going to grind it, why waste my time? That's kind of where I'm at.
That's what type of time I'm on now. Like, I can't. Like, it's impossible. I barely have time to play anything as it is. So I'm not even trying to waste any of my precious time playing something that I'm not sure if I'm going to be playing long term.
And that's just what it is. But I feel like what I played, I'd give it like a 6 or 7. Like, it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah. And that's kind of like when people were asking my opinion, I was like, it's cool. Like, I'm having fun moving around and shooting stuff. But like, that's kind of where it ends. I don't know. Yeah, I just don't know about the longevity. It's like right now in this moment, I'm having a good time with what I'm doing. But that's all I got for you.
What would y'all rate it based off what y'all played, Ethos, Jay?
I wanted to say middle of the road, but I'd give it 6.5, 7.
7. I think 7's fair.
Okay.
Because it feels good. I think they've done a lot of good stuff with the game. But I mean, they're going into early access too next week. It's not like a full release, so maybe they can do some stuff with that.
I give them a little bit of grace. I mean, maybe what you were saying, like with the mechs and the lacks of animation or anything, maybe that's something that will come in the future. Maybe they're just, again, dropping it too early and they're just not fully done with the game yet and all of the animation and everything else.
You hold X, and I was like, I'm holding X. I was waiting for an animation. Yeah. You just randomly appear in the mech. Like, nothing happens, bro.
It doesn't even fill up like a circle when you're holding it.
Yeah, like, can I get a meter or something? Like,
yeah, there's nothing.
I didn't know if it was working or not. After playing it, I'll say this. I think I'm kind of leaning towards, I agree with what Ethos said like a few podcasts ago. I don't know if people want this game, bro. Because
people don't want these games.
Hey,
man.
listen,
they really don't.
It's the demo. It's not even early access. It's the early access of the early access. The motherfuckers was sweating. I was like, I don't know if people will like this. Like, they trying a little too hard on a goddamn beta. I feel like it's going to rub people the wrong way in the long term. Because at the end of the day, I've seen this become a conversation on Twitter. Like, you don't have to agree with it. I get it. Get good. I agree to some degree, but I also agree with the concept of some people, when they get off of work, they just want to get on and they want to win a couple games here and there. They don't want to sit up all the fucking time. Because at the end of the day, games are supposed to be an escape for us. And I can make the argument pro gamers are ruining everything because y'all ain't even making no money off that shit. Y'all all broke. So what it matter? What does it matter? We're trying so hard. That's the argument too. But anyways, that's Impulse. It will go open to everybody next week. So by the time you see this episode, it might be available. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But sometime next week, you'll be able to play it on Steam. Just remember, it's not on console until further notice. What's her name? Miss 5000 Watts got into a bit of a spat on Twitter. And I decided to save it.
She won the parlay.
Oh, she's the one that got into the argument this week.
I wasn't arguing though. I was just calling people dumb.
Yeah.
I wasn't arguing.
And so I caught this on the timeline. She responded to a tweet where in the original tweet, it comes from this username Storm. They say, you watch movies, you read books, you play games. How hard is it to understand not engaging with the medium? You can call yourself a fan if of it is considered a LARP. And then you like added me and you were like, wow, like they really are just watching Rad Brad. They're not playing these games, but they have all these strong commentary and opinions on this stuff. So I kind of wanted to bring that to the podcast and bring up, do you guys think that you can be a fan of a video game without playing, Jay?
No, I don't even have to go in full. I mean, I am going to go in full detail, but short answer is no. I think we need to understand once again what words mean. And I think that we can like stuff without being a fan of stuff. I know that there are different levels of fandom. You have being a fan, and then you have being a stan, which is, the psychotic version of being a fan, but still a fan nonetheless. So I think that the people who really like something, you've watched someone play a video game, you've looked at a review of a video game, you've engaged with that video game or that franchise in some form or fashion, but you've never played them. I think that there is still a limit to your fandom and where you can be at, in my eyes. I do not think that you have the capacity, even if you know all of the lore of something up and down, if you haven't experienced that video game, in my opinion, I just can't consider you a true fan. Because if you were, then why didn't you play it? I think that's just a good question. Why didn't you play it then? Like, why didn't you fully engage in the thing that you claim that you're a fan of? And this goes back to the conversation of people who love to get into conversation and try to tell people about things that they have no knowledge about. And I've also seen some other arguments here in this thread when someone was saying, well, again, like, but we talk about watching movies, we talk about reading books, we talk about listening to music, and we talk about playing video games. And every single one of these forms of entertainment, you engage with them in a different way. So you're reading books, you can't play books. You're watching movies, you can't play movies, you're listening to music, you can't play the music. But in video games, technically you can do all of that. You can do all of that, but you can play it as well. And that's what makes it interactive. But that is the form of it, because if you're not playing the game, if you're not directly interacting with the game, then what are you doing? Like you're watching a movie, because people said that, like Metal Gear Solid and Final Fantasy and even Yakuza to an extent.
What
like,
is Ethos? Ethos, you okay?
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Faces up there. What's going on up
reading
there?
this thread, bro.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Well,
It's
that's
a
why I
fantasy
had
crisis.
to quote tweet it, because I was like,
yeah.
I went into the comments and I was like, wait, this is every comment is saying, no, but I am a fan. I've never played it. I'm like,
They're
what?
really calling people stupid. They're calling the OP stupid because he made this comment.
I'm
and
sorry.
I'm just like,
This is not the only tweet. There's like this is the discourse of the day on Twitter. So if you go onto Twitter, you will see it's
it's insane.
Rendy, R Indy, whatever your name is. I'm sorry, you are stupid. I just can't believe I'm reading this. I'm reading.
Read the comment. Read the comment. Which one?
Okay, this is where I literally my brain just stopped working. They said, so the person that's like responding against him, I'm like, yeah, this person's got at least has a brain. This person's saying, if you are a fan of something story and art direction, why would you experience it through the lens of someone else instead of engaging with how the makers intended? This person responded and said, because gameplay alone doesn't define why people play a game. A lot of people are just too broke to have adequate hardware to play it, or simply suck at video games and can't enjoy the full experience because of a skill issue, but are capable of appreciating 2/3 of it. Like, a lot of people out there are too broke to even afford some of these. And then he says, this argument is ridiculous because it's treating engaging with the work as a non-factor of calling yourself a fan. If someone said they were a diehard Pulp Fiction fan because they looked at a poster and it looked cool, that's not the same as someone who actually watched the movie. That'd be lunacy. And then they said, it isn't so black and white. They don't need to click the buttons to intelligently speak on everything as if they've seen enough of it. If you're going to act like they need to do that, then go ahead and play the game with shit aesthetics and story and see how long the gameplay keeps you in shit. And he said, video game fan is telling me that the defining aspect of the medium is secondary to everything else. What happened?
Literacy crisis. I'm going to keep screaming.
I blame Sony. This is Sony's fault. Sony made all these cinematic games. It has fried their brains. You cannot. The one thing we have said for years is what makes the difference between a video game and a movie and a book. There is a unique factor to video games that makes it stand out from every other interactive media or any medium that we have right now, entertainment, art-wise. It is the interactivity of it. It is you interacting with it, you prefacing with it, and you controlling and manipulating that piece of art. You can't do that with a movie.
Like, there's always the difference between you watching me make a really important decision in a video game and me having to actually think about it and click the button and have that emotional connection to making that decision. It is a big difference. That's why it's a game and not a movie. Because, and like, when you're interacting with a boss fight and a crescendo of a song happens at the perfect moment when all of these things are depending on you actually interacting with the game by playing it. So you can know the overall story of a game by looking at someone play the story, but you do not understand it on any deeper level than that. And I was saying earlier when we were in the call that I would not go into a conversation about a manga if I have watched the anime, because they are two different forms of medium. They have different things going on. I'm not going to walk in well, actually, this is because I don't know, because I haven't read it. So, like, yeah, you can know the overall story, but you cannot be to yell at people telling them they're wrong about stuff if you haven't played the game.
To call yourself a fan is to understand the intricacies of it all. And that actually is perfectly what you were talking about. She can't talk about the manga because she watched the anime, because she doesn't know the intricacies of the manga. You could say you know the overall story because they share that in common, but you can't say that like you're a fan. The reason I don't agree that you're a fan for not playing the game is yeah, like it's like Ethos said, it's the one unique medium where your experience is unique to you. If you don't engage with that part of the game, you're not a fan. An example being is right now, I'm almost done with 007. And while I'm streaming it, the whole chat's just going crazy. I didn't even know you could do that. I didn't know you could do that pathway. You did something completely different from me. That is what makes gaming, not watching the fucking cutscene. in what 007 is doing. You can maybe argue that, you know, you're a fan of the story without playing the game, but you can't say you're a fan of the game. An example being maybe The Last of Us, because it has a TV show, so you don't have to play the game to know the story. But the game is just as much as important as the story, because there are intricacies in that game that you don't know about, like the mechanics and stuff like that. So I don't know why this is a conversation. This is crazy.
I know. I was like, well, I don't. It's a prime example of people feeling like they need to be a part of everything. And it's totally fine to just not be a major part of everything. Not everything is your hobby. I don't go into movie conversations because I, read a synopsis and want to talk about a movie. Like, that's not my hobby. So it's just this thing of wanting to be involved in everything. They want to be involved with the discourse, but they don't want to play the game. And the fact that someone is diminishing gaming to like, oh, pressing some buttons, like that's just not a gamer, period. If they think that that's all it is.
Yeah, I'll give like some recent examples. Expedition 33. I'm sorry, you have to experience that firsthand. I don't care who you.
But they
watch.
didn't, because all the people who criticized it were like, the gameplay's ass. And you're like, did you play it? No, I watched somebody play it. It looks ass.
What happened when they played it, Ethos? What happened when they played it?
Feel how that Perry felt though.
How many games have we all said that we've been like, you know what? I don't think this is a good stream game. Like, I don't think people are going to enjoy watching me play this. But when I play it by myself, I love it. Like I think that's so much a marathon. I don't think marathon's a fun game. I don't think really marathon a lot is really fun to watch all the time outside of cryo. But I don't think it's a really like visceral game to watch. But when you experience, that is I can't fathom somebody who watches marathon footage on dire marsh and actually like living it, like immersing themselves in it, hearing it, playing it. Feeling the nature of it. You can't experience that stuff through watching somebody else playing. This gave me another revelation. This is why a lot of these fucking criticisms, this fucking sheep mentality of I'm only regurgitating the shit I've heard a person play, because all y'all doing is watching one person play. And if they all tell you I ain't like this game's trash, your opinion and your experience has already been tainted because you have not experienced it firsthand yourself. You're watching someone else experience it, and then whatever they're feeling about it, it's now being disseminated upon you, and then you just think that's just true. How do you know if they said true? How can someone, for like TBH, how can TBH tell you straight up and tell you Impulse does not feel, I don't like the way the gunplay feels, and you just watch him play it? How would you be able to tell that? You wouldn't. You'd have to feel the game yourself for you to know if the gunplay is good or not. That is not something you could just visually watch. You can't figure out
but they'll regurgitate it though. It's so easy for them to regurgitate it.
It's scared to me because so many games have decisions now, and like, so you mean to tell me when you watch that person play the game, you're under the assumption you would have made the same decision as them? Like, you're not even thinking about the process? Because, like, when I watch other people play, I'd be like, I wouldn't have done that shit. But it's like, you just default to that experience. That's kind of weird to me that, like, they just put themselves in there like it's like a vessel to play the game or something like that.
I'll give another recent example, okay? Elden Ring. When I made it to Console of Radon, my adrenaline was pumping. My heart was pounding. Okay. I was a little scared to put it on them.
Cammy had a heart rate monitor when she played that shit, right?
It's like your heart rate. Bro, when I beat him, when I finally got them last two hits, bro, that was one of the greatest feelings. You cannot replicate that by watching somebody play it. You have to play it for yourself. I'm sorry. You can call it something else. Like we've all said here, you can call it something else. You cannot call yourself a fan of video games if you have not played them. I'm sorry, because if you were, like you said you were, you would just play the game. Now, Ethos, you did mention one of the people, which again is going to come into another conversation. I think it's going to get worse, or people getting priced out of playing video games. That's why I made that short. I was like, yo, when people get priced out of video games, it's going to be more people regurgitating who their favorite YouTuber or streamer or content creator is saying, and it's going to this discourse is going to get infinitely worse. I don't want to see that day, but unfortunately, I think it's going to be inevitable. So I think that's what sparked this conversation. Watch is because there are more and more people, and you see people trying to defend it, like, no, you're stupid for saying that, because they want to believe that what they're saying is true, because they won't be able to play these video games in the future.
It also kind of shows you, like, how we were saying that these games have hate campaigns against them, and it shows you how impactful that can be by just one person, one large content creator or a couple large content creators saying something, and then that being adapted by the masses. And we're literally seeing that right here, that people are forming their opinions on stuff, not based on their own experience, but based on what someone says. And that's going to be really bad for the industry in general, too, because it means that people's entire perception of something can be dictated not by their own experience. So now we've just got like one or two people who have a say on whether something lives or dies in certain genres is crazy.
It's too powerful. It gave these people way too much power to be making these nonsensical opinions. That's why I defend everything. I'm like, no, I'm not letting this stuff fly. If you're saying something that's just utterly disgraceful, it just makes no sense at all. I gotta say something. So it's crazy.
Yeah, if you can't afford the game, wait for it to go on a Steam sale. You'll be all right. Like, I don't even know why people feel the need to be part of a conversation they didn't. For a game they didn't play, period. Like, it doesn't bother me. Like, y'all talking about games I ain't played. Like, y'all be talking about Marathon. I just sit here and be quiet.
True.
Doesn't bother me. They're having fun. Cool.
Cool. Who am I to say they're not?
Shit is
you brought
fucking...
up Claire Obscure, so I got to show you this.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
You got it.
That looks expensive.
It. Isn't it good? I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, that looks expensive.
Yeah,
you need to watch the video version of the podcast if you want to see me holding an SKA plush.
There you go.
No. But if they listen to it, they did see it though. It's the same thing. Same
if I describe it, they
describe it with close.
You know, there's a thing of this is just a small little side tangent. There's a lot of people on Book Talk who their whole thing is reading books. Like they're a content creator about books, and they don't read anything except for the things in the speeches. They don't read any of the other stuff. They just read the characters talking.
That was frying my brain. I was like, wait, you guys have been reading books by just like the dialogue? Like you just whatever they're talking, that's the only read.
They see these context, and they're like, I'm just reading that. I'm skipping everything else.
What happened?
And they're content creators about books.
Yeah, this is bad, man.
Lord help us.
Literacy crisis.
I also want to say, I don't buy the excuse of some people are just bad at video games with skills, so they have to watch them because they can't engage with them. I call
Who said that?
Oh yeah, no, it was put
the game on easy mode. I don't want to hear that shit.
They said literally,
motherfucking ham and cheese.
They said a lot of people are too broke or don't have the adequate hardware to play or simply suck at video games and can't enjoy the full experience because of the skill issue, but are still capable of appreciating 2/3. We're not going to go into. I'll go the reverse. We're not even going to go towards like the From Software, Elden Ring type of conversation about difficulty. I'll go reverse. There are so many people. I know Death Stranding's done it. I know Last of Us has done it. I know for a fact Sony mandates it with a lot of their single player games. I think a lot of games in general are now doing this because they realize that gaming has become so massive and they understand people are suck. Okay. I'll tell you one thing I didn't realize. This is not slander on Cammy, but I didn't realize some people can just suck at certain games until I watched Cammy play Mass Effect. And I was literally like, bro, my brain was frying. I was just like, Cammy, do the charge, do the biology. But she would just the way she played the game, she just wasn't used to that. And I didn't realize that. Then I took a step back and I said, oh my God, like these things that are just like second nature and muscle memory to me because of the years of me, doing it. It's not the same. It's not the same for everybody. But at the same point, what I'm trying to make the point is that at the end of the day, even when people have those different like skill levels, the way that their brains are wired and they do different things or they perceive the game in a different type of way, there are multitudes of like story mode. Less combat. You can reduce the combat difficulty on that. They have a bunch of accessibility now. There's so many of these games that y'all be talking about that, they might be too difficult. They have easy settings for you to be able to engage with them. And even if they didn't, if they're like From Software games, if they're like Elden Ring, you just don't gotta say nothing. Just be like, yo, it's too difficult for me. It's not that hard. You can just be like, hey, yo, the story's cool. Or you can be like, yo, you know what's crazy? I think that's also why a lot of people act like Elden Ring doesn't have a story or Elden Ring has no narrative, but they can't understand. I guarantee you that's probably why. They watch a playthrough of somebody who doesn't engage with the lore, who doesn't engage with the story of it, or just runs by and just starts smacking it, and they regurgitate it. Oh, clearly this doesn't have a story. I watched Radbat play. I didn't see no cutscene. There's no story here. These people are bad, bro. This is bad.
They're getting exposed, man. They're getting exposed, and it's really bad.
Why are we defending this? What happened to us? What's going on here?
It's only gonna get worse. The brains are fried, man. Freaking everything is being designed to appeal to people and have just cuts every 5 seconds, and people don't know how to slow down and enjoy things anymore, unfortunately. And
I want
somebody
you to imagine,
literally said on here if a person was born with no hands and feet.
If someone came up to you and said, yo, I love Mass Effect. You like Mass Effect? Oh my God, I love Mass Effect. And then you say, oh, which one did you like the most? Which one did you play? And they said straight up to your face, no, I just watched it on YouTube.
Yeah, and because there's always like little ways when playing games you can tell. Like, example, we can use Mass Effect, right? I'd be like, "Oh, you're a Mass Effect fan, right?" And they'd be like, and they ask me, "Well, what was your favorite moment, TBH?" Oh man, I love that moment in the first game where I blew up that damn that space station with all the Batarians and I killed them all. And then the Batarians were mad at me for the rest of the series in 2 and 3 because I basically committed genocide. That happened. It was DLC. You'd know that if you were a fan.
Both. That was the first. Was it the second game? I think
But that's an optional thing. You don't have to do that though. That's the point. Like, but if you were a fan, you'd probably know that. But if you only watch somebody play it,
or better yet,
because a lot of times with playthroughs they'll only go through the main story.
Or better yet, you can just ask Vermeer who'd you left, and they'd probably be like, "Wait, it could be different." Like, or oh no, the big one is I know the big one. The big one's Rex. In the first game, that's
because he could die. Yeah,
that's the one. That's the telltale sign. I could tell if someone played or not. I'd be like, oh yeah. I'd be like, oh yeah. What happened with like yeah? And I love Rex, and then they're like, wait, Rex is still with you? Like what?
I think the part that confuses me most about a lot of people wanting to be part of the conversation, and I don't even know why, because like you don't even make money off this shit. If this is like, if it's your goal to be a content creator or you are a content creator, I understand you want to be part of the zeitgeist because it's your job. But like, unless you're making money off this, I don't understand why you need to be in every gaming conversation. Pick what games you're interested in and play them. But like, if you didn't have interest in the first place, like, why are you watching on YouTube just so you can tweet about it? Like, to me, I'm like, you could be doing something better with your time than, because you don't have to play every game to be a gamer.
It's probably they see it on Twitter. They see something pop like Expedition. Let's say like everyone's hyping up how, oh my God, Expedition or Baldur's
play that shit.
Baldur's Gate is a good example. Baldur's Gate is so good. And what do you think most of them probably did? I went on YouTube. I searched Baldur's Gate 3 gameplay. I looked at the gameplay for 5 minutes. So I said, nah, fuck, I ain't playing that shit. And they said that shit's trash.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely, actually.
Yeah.
Not probably, definitely.
I didn't even know it had co-op.
Probably did.
Probably not, no.
It's nuts.
Ridiculous. We need to do better, man.
Play y'all games, man. Play y'all games. It's a great time to be a gamer. There's too many games. And not only is there too many games, there's tons of games at different price points. So you don't even got to get everything at $70 anymore.
Dude, Steam Next Fest is literally starting tomorrow. Steam Next Fest, you can play a ton of games for free. Mortal Shell has its beta available right now. That's an incredible game. It's like 4 hours of gamplayy. You could be there even longer if you want.
No, well, I don't want to play any of that stuff.
You can play whatever you want.
It ain't got a ball of gun in it. I ain't even trying to play.
Empulse got a ball and a gun in it.
Hold on.
Try Empulse.
If you're a ball and gun gamer, play 007. That might be I got to a section where it literally involved controlling a ball. And I had to shoot at the same time. Y'all know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
I was like, this is a ball and gun game. I was like, let's go, man.
But I can't afford it. I can't afford it, TBH. I ain't even got a PS5.
Then wait on a sale.
That's what I say. It sounds like PS4 syndrome to me. That's what they describe. And I'm like, I'm just sick of this shit.
They're throwing every single excuse out here. That's what I'm seeing here in this thread. Every single excuse.
They'll be there in December to debate on what's game of the year and what's not, even though they ain't played none of the 6 games nominated.
I bet you they're gonna play GTA though.
People were putting up all this other things, like arguing the minority cases, right? Like you said, I've got no hands and no feet, so I can't play the game. Like, but we're talking about the general population of people that we're speaking to about video games. I'm not talking about like these really edge case scenarios of things. We're talking about the general population, and I'm not even talking about if you can't afford a game. Because like we said, there's going to be people that might be getting priced out of stuff and you enjoying the game from watching someone. But there's a difference between doing that and then saying you're a big fan and then arguing with me about my opinions about a game you didn't play.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'd rather see y'all pirate a game. I'd rather see you pirate it and play it than to sit here and do what you're.
If you want to be part of the conversation, that's crazy. But I'm not mad at that.
If you can't afford it,
at least you played it.
You're not gonna buy it anyway because you can't. So
if you claim you're a fan, then and you can't afford it, then
that's no excuse. There's emulation. There's piracy. Look. If you truly care about this shit as much as you say you care much of the game, and you're willing to argue with me on Twitter about this game's good, this game bad, you just pirate it, bro.
I just recently found out about a website from TikTok. I ain't gonna say it because I ain't trying to get us in trouble, but it got every game from Steam on there. I'm pretty sure if you wanted to find it, you could find it, bro.
Just pirate it. And if your excuse is, oh, that's too hard too, you weren't gonna play in the first place, bro. You ain't gotta be talking.
You just want to yap on the internet and argue with people about stuff you don't know about.
To the point where, like, I do, because I try to be careful about what I respond to. It's hard to tell what's a bot, and like, are you a bot or are you a moron? Like, well, morons are bots, but it's hard. It's getting that line is starting to blur for me to the point where I'm like, I'm just not engaging with any of it because I can't tell if that's a Twitter bot or not. I'm like, this is a awful take. I just never heard this shit 10 years ago. Like, what are you talking about, bro? But it is what it is. Let's talk about something more positive. Fable gameplay. What's going on? Why last week we had the Summer Games
we can't
Fest?
talk about it. We only watched it. We ain't played it yet.
Well, to be fair, nobody's played this game. Nobody's got hands on time besides the devs. But what's going on? Because last week we had Summer Games Fest and the Xbox Showcase and State of the Play. They had all these crazy announcements, and then a week later, Xbox keeps doing it. They drop. I'm like, why did y'all show this during the showcase or something? But anyways, 30 minutes of new Fable gameplay was dropped, and we got to look at the world, some of the combat, the social engineering you can do in the game, how there's no black or white in this in terms of how you treat people. There's a middle ground, a gray moral place. I thought this shit, I ain't gonna lie, this looked like it's a game of the year contender just from like the eye test, man. I like the color. I like the UI. I was like, ooh, even like the UI is really cool, like the different choices that you can make and how they said it affects the world. But then when I saw the combat and like he lifted up the dude and then started like slashing, I was like, oh yeah, this is a day one cop. I'm kind of happy they pushed it back to February to give it some space to breathe, because I think this might be one of those ones. And this is coming from somebody who has never played Fable. Xbox has got to find a way to get this to be like one of the best selling games, or like a way to push units, because this looks like a labor of love. I see you nodding your head, Ethos. What'd you think?
Oh yeah, as a Fable fan who actually played Fable, Fable 1, Fable 2, Fable 3.
You see how easy it was to admit that I never played it, by the way?
Yeah, that's great. This is a banger. This is everything I think I've wanted the evolution of Fable to be. Like, I know, what's crazy? Somebody said on Twitter, they said this is even living up to the over expectations of Fable, because like Fable, because if you don't know, the creator of Fable was Peter Molyneux, and he has a notorious reputation for over promising and not under delivering. Every game he's done it. I think even like the original Fable and Fable 2, they were saying the same stuff. Like what they're talking about in this trailer is stuff that Peter Molyneux and his team were like saying you would be able to do in the first game, and you couldn't do it to that level. But the thing I give them credit for, and Fable's always given credit for, is they've always innovated. Like every game they've tried to push, even though like sometimes they miss the actual like landing on some of the stuff, they still try. Especially in the RPG ring, where there's other people like Bethesda that really don't feel like they're really doing much. But like that's something I've always given Fable credit for throughout the decade. So to see this game, like it feels like it's a fully realization. I think like them, I know some people are like a little bit incy on certain things. Certain things are dropped from the old series, but I feel like we haven't seen Fable in literally, Jesus, 20. Oh my God, it's been a while, 2012 maybe or something like that. I think that was the last time Fable. Yeah, it's been a long time.
Unless you count that remake that they put out, or the remaster. Or whatever.
Yeah, but they try to make Microsoft do Microsoft try to make them do which cost them their studio. They try to make them do that live service version, and that collapsed and flopped without coming out. So they killed. That's another live service game that died long time ago. And that also was called. They shut down Lionhead after that. But Playground Games, I think it was a smart play. I mean, initially when you think about it, like, why the hell are we giving a racing studio an RPG? This seems like a recipe for disaster. But I think they're just really good devs. I think you could tell too, they know they like Fable. Like the people who are working on this, they know what Fable is. This does feel like Fable through. It has that like British sarcastic tone to it. The art style is phenomenal. The only thing we were a little bit worried about, obviously, has been like the performance. It does seem a little bit better in this than it did before, but I think it could still be a little tweaked a little bit better. But I'm not going to harp on that too much. But it's like I like this transition from not making the games, it's black and white, to making it more this gray of like, you may take an action that one person perceives as you being an asshole, but the other person might be like, nah, I get what that person was doing. I know, you know what? I think this dude's cool. And so I like that. I like the whole relationship system where it's like, oh, well, I'm looking for somebody who got money and stuff like that. It's like you got to shape yourself to be that type of person to interact with them or like to take them out on a date. This game's gonna be crazy. I saw Cammy talking about she was gonna. I seen a couple people. One of my friends talking about they're gonna have a Nick Cannon gameplay.
Yeah, I'm about to have 8 baby mamas in this game. Hell yeah.
I remember the last Fable 2. I remember you could have a kid. You could kill the mom on accident, and then the kid becomes an orphan. Like, I'm really cool. I'm really
One of
interested
my
to see, like, how crazy
friends
you could do with it.
wanted to get rid of his wife.
Yeah, to marry somebody else.
He took her, because you couldn't like marry two people in one
Yeah.
of them, and he took her to like somewhere where bandits were
Yeah,
and
yeah.
just left her.
Yep. And then, like, the band is the NPC's killer.
Yeah, so he's
you
like,
could do
I
that.
didn't do it, actually.
Yeah, so you could get away with quote unquote like murder without you actually
without
doing it. And the
murder,
system
yeah.
would think, they would
Like,
actually let you get away with it.
That's clean. That's a
Mhm.
clean one. Morally correct.
Can I
Yeah.
also state that this was a 30-minute video, and by the way, they
Oh yeah,
showed
what was I
nothing
telling you,
but
TBH?
gameplay.
That was
we,
gameplay.
we saw how the moral system works, the bartering, the combat, the converse. It was so many different mechanics and how they intertwine with one another. I was like,
There
this
was
is
UI
freaking
too?
UI, great. I was like, this is a gameplay demo, chat.
Mhm.
Granted, the God of War community is laid off me. I think people are getting it now, but I was just like, yes, this is what I like to see. What'd you think, Jay?
No, I mean, I think that this game, from what they showed, is probably the closest you can get to, like, you know, how far do you want to go? Do you want to go full power fantasy? Like, it's giving you a lot of options to really do whatever the hell that you want to do. So I think just from that aspect alone, because I mean, we saw glimpses of what you can do, but this gameplay demo here showed a hell of a lot more as far as like the limits of, you know, how far that you can push your individual gameplay. So I think that this is going to be a really good, you know, either talking about like game that, you know, probably wouldn't do so well with streaming. I think this one is going to be I think this one is going to be a banger as far as streaming, because every single person should, more or less have a very different play style and very different outcomes. You know, it'd be interesting. You know, I hope the people, you know, again, going back to the last conversation, you're a fan of Fable, you go play the game and go instead of just talking about what somebody else did. But yeah, this one definitely looks like something that it's going to be like one of those labor of love that, you know, we waited so long to get another Fable, and they're finally going to deliver something truly special. So like you, TBH, I'm super happy that they decided to get out the way for whatever reason. I don't care what it was, even though 2027, February specifically, is
February's a little sus.
very packed. It is going to be packed, but nonetheless,
Yeah.
I think that this will be one of those games that I will pick up and play day one for sure. And I mean, I was already locked in before then, but after seeing the demo, I'm really, really excited to play it.
Besides the combat and like the beauty and the UI, I think another thing that super impressed me about this demo was the use of morality and like the gray areas. They were talking about how like the one woman that was working in the store, like the character was trying to holler at her, but they said, oh, she's into bad boys, so she's not fucking with you. I said, oh, this is cool. This is not like, so you're not going to be able to romance. They're all going to have actual unique personalities. I was like, oh yeah, this is a labor of love. They done thought of everything. But I did want to ask y'all, did y'all have any concerns? I heard Ethos talk about optimization. Watts, did you have any concerns going into the game?
I don't think so. I think the only real thing, like, I also haven't really played Fable. I think I played the beginning of one of them. I don't even know which one, but that I haven't really invested in Fable. But people have said that like it was really cool that your physical appearance would change based on the positive or negative, you know, morally positive or negative stuff that you decided to do in your playthrough. And that's not going to be present in this Fable. So I think maybe people are a little disappointed by that. But I think overall, the fact that you do have much more morally gray situations and you can't just be one person that everyone loves no matter what, I think kind of makes up for that. But from watching the gameplay, no, I didn't really see anything that jumped out to me as anything that I'm concerned about from those 30 minutes. I was happy with everything that I saw.
What about you, Jay? You got any concerns going into it?
No, not really. I think optimization would be one, obviously, because I want to be able to play the game at its its highest potential. But outside of that, I mean, I think it's pretty much going to be just wait and see here at this point. I'm just trying to think about like what type of gameplay that I want to do, because like we have to see what the vibes are. But I think it's going to be a lot of people who are probably going to be ready to do their cosplays here or whatever gameplay that they want to do. So I'm just excited to see, you know, what's up ahead whenever this game drops. I
have one concern, and granted, we only saw 30 minutes of gameplay, so I mean, it might be stuff better in there. But based off what I saw, just a little nitpick, I am worried about the drip in this game. Me personally, in the RPG, I like to be dripped out because Elden Ring is not just about overcoming the obstacle; it's also about getting dripped out and looking cool as hell doing it.
You didn't like that hat?
I wasn't fucking with the court jester fit. I wasn't fucking with that, bro. But it wasn't just that. If you paid attention when he was in the store, I was like, all them clothes kind of whack, man. I was like, I hope they got better stuff in there. I'm not just trying to have 8 baby mamas and fucking be a scummy landlord. I'm trying to look good doing it too, bro. So
I'm gonna be a loner with a farm, and I'm not gonna talk to anybody. I'm gonna raise many talking Colin the pig.
Any concerns besides optimization, Ethos?
The story being ass? Like that could be like, but I mean the story actually seems pretty cool. They have homegirl as Agent Carter from the MCU. What's her name? I forgot her name. Bless her heart. She's fine. But she's the villain of the game. So they have her. I think they showed like some little cinematic with her. And their whole thing is she's a hero, but she decides that Albion only needs one hero, and she thinks the having all these different people, everybody being heroes, and like anybody could be a hero, and they're like not doing their jobs, and some of the people are lazy, and they're not like actually saving people. So it's from not a writing standpoint, but like from a plot standpoint, I'm like, oh, that's compelling. So this is like a hero who wants to wipe out all the other heroes and make her the only hero because she believes she knows what's the standard of being a true hero, and that the rest of them are not living up to that title. So I was like,
Haley Atwell, you're talking about?
Okay. So I was like, yeah, that's cool. That's fire. Okay.
The game is really beautiful. I was like, when they was walking around the village, I think that's really important for these kind of games, that like the world is really enticing and beautiful for you to want to be a part of. Otherwise, you're not going to care about a lot of things. The animations, I wanted to bring up the animations and the combat, because as soon as they did a little bit of the combat, the animation work is really, really good.
It's a lot better than it was.
Very impressive.
Yeah. When they first showed it, they did a lot of improvements. It looks real good.
It's a day one for me. I'm getting it. And
day one for me, unless Monster Hunter comes out the same day.
You're cooked. I think I'll play Fable.
Roll on to the expansion for Wilds and Fable, and maybe even finishing up Stranger Than Heaven is all in like the same
fantasy nerd shit. But at least you played it, unlike Twitter. Going back to movement shooters, in an interview with IGN, one of the devs for the upcoming Gears of War E-Day revealed that wall bouncing was changed, which for those who've never played Gears is a key mechanic, probably one of the most definitive mechanics, at least in the multiplayer. Specifically in a quote, they said, "We have forms of wall canceling in there, but you won't be able to do the wall bouncing the way you've done it in the past. There's lots of other things you can do. There's ways to play it. It's to do it, but it's not entirely gone. We think we found a balance in terms of how that really feels. But back to my catchphrase, it is a new game. If you come back expecting it to play exactly like a previous Gears game, it won't be that way. It will probably be an adjustment, but it's also built around the same mechanics." You played a lot of Gears, Jay. This was some drama on social media. People were saying Gears is dead. Is it dead because they changed the wall bounce mechanic?
I don't think so, but that is like a core Gears thing, especially in multiplayer. So it's going to be an adjustment for sure. We have to see what that's going to look like and what that's going to feel like, and like the true reason as to why they just decided to make this, in many people's sense, a bold move to just, change wall bouncing for what we know and love. Because that's literally, that's the movement. Literally, wall bouncing is the movement of Gears.
I'll tell you the answer to that. It's literally what Ethos said. People don't like people say they do, but they don't like movement shooters. That's why they're nerfing this shit. Because
I know they added a slide, and they're like, yeah, but you can slide a lot, and you can also slide cancel. It looked like,
yeah, it was there. We seen that in the gameplay demo, and you can slide and like you can slide like under trucks and guards and stuff, which is cool. You can have that in there, but just to completely take or just alter wall bouncing, I just need to see what it looks like. Like, I'm not going to give a full opinion, but it just does not sound good. I don't think they're going to completely kill Gears, but it might go back to what you're saying, T. Maybe they're just trying to get that audience that normally would not even pick up a Gears because they know that there are some wall bouncing demons that'll literally mess up your day and make you not even want to play the game.
they're trying to appeal to people. Because here's the thing, right? People are saying, oh, this is going to kill Gears. I'd make the argument, and I'm a Gears fan. I grew up, I'm a Gears head. I make the argument it is dead. It's not part of the zeitgeist. So they have to try something new. So for me, I'm kind of in the middle. I'm like with you, Jay. Like, I'm okay with this if they execute it correctly, but I don't want to give a definitive opinion right now until I get my hands on it and see how it feels. Because if you read the quote, they didn't get rid of it. They just rebalanced and reworked it. Because I do feel like it does get to a point with the wall bouncing. Like, it shouldn't be the main mechanic. It should also be about gun skill, teamwork, positioning. It shouldn't just be about bouncing all over the goddamn place. So if they putting maybe a cooldown on it where you can't do it 30 times in a row, I'm cool with that. I got to see how they execute it, because at the end of the day, they want to sell more units, and Gears doesn't sell for the simple fact that the sweaty ass wall bouncers, that's all they do, and it makes people not want to play the fucking game, because nobody wants to work a 9 to 5 and get on and deal with somebody who doesn't have a 9 to 5. You got to find that balance between it being skill and enough that there's there for the casuals to stay on. But we'll see how it plays out. What you smirking over there for, Ethos?
You know what I'm going to say.
Go ahead, say it.
You know what I'm going to say. I mean, this is what I was saying. I said adapt or die. Like, if they got rid of wall bounce, you better learn some new tech. I guarantee you, somebody gonna learn how to manipulate that.
There's gonna be some slide tech in there. Yeah,
they're gonna do some slide tech. So it's like you're gonna replace one for the other. I'm not gonna lie to you. Seeing a clip of somebody doing that wall bouncing crap and glitching and and one shot in them with a headshot, that'll turn anybody off who's never played that game. You see a clip of that.
He said that shit. What?
Ain't nobody want to play that shit. Ain't no new player gonna ever want to touch that. You thought Titanfall was bad. You see somebody do that to you in Gears, they gonna turn off the game. They're like, ain't no way I'm about to learn how to do that crap. So yeah, I'm cool with this. Like, I like the wall bounce. I was a little wall bouncer myself back in the day, but this ain't gonna make me cry and be like, oh god, I'm not gonna play multiplayer. Multiplayer's gonna be trash. Like, no, I'm gonna play it for myself. I'm gonna see how the multiplayer gets up. And at the end of the day, we can all agree it can't be worse than Judgment. No matter what, it can't be worse than what they did to Judgment's multiplayer. So
if as long as the story is fire and it's fun to play with friends, I'll be happy with the next Gears. And I get a little bit out of the multiplayer. I'm not trying to go pro, so I don't really care.
A little bit. How much? How long you think?
Oh, here you go.
Let me get at least a month out of it, like you said. We got other games to play. You got any thoughts on Gears, Watts?
Nope.
Are you gonna play it?
Have you played Gears?
Have you played Gears?
All right.
Double nope. Triple nope.
Oh, all right.
Nope.
Believe it or not, it is actually on the surface, it looks like a dude bro shooter, but there's a lot going on there dealing with mental health and stuff. Like, it's actually a very good, well-written story for the most part.
It's one of those shows where, like, a lot of people on the outside perceive it as it's just some meathead.
It does look like it, to be fair.
Meathead, like, boy gaming type of stuff, but then, like, when you actually play, you're like, oh wow, holy shit. Like, it's actually
it went there. Whoa.
There's never really like a reason that I didn't really play shooters growing up really at all until like Modern Warfare. No, Black Ops 1 was really kind of it. Yeah, I was playing RPGs. And
which one was it?
Oh, here you go.
Which one was
Black
it?
Ops 1, I think.
How did you get into it? What made you even want to play it?
Yeah, what was you playing before too?
It's goated. What do you mean?
But she wasn't into shooters.
I had friends who played Modern Warfare 2, and I played like a little bit when I went to their house. So when Black Ops 1 came out, I was like, I'll play Black Ops 1, give it a go.
Okay.
And then I love Black Ops 1.
Goated.
See, I didn't even know that. That's some lore I didn't know, because I discovered you through Call of Duty.
I know.
So I thought you just been playing shooters all your life.
No, that Black Ops 1 was really the first one that I got into. Before that, I was playing Final Fantasy, Tomb Raider, Resident Evil, fighting games, any kind of RPG. I was playing them.
I feel like that happened to all of us. Like, I don't know if that happened to YouTube, but I feel like that's what happened to me too. I feel like, just like what you were saying, Watts, like before Call of Duty, I was playing like a big different. I was playing like World of Warcraft.
Actually, yeah. Now that I think, the other shooter I played as a kid was probably GoldenEye, and then we played the Halo demo. But yeah, I played other games. You actually,
But then I think like when
y'all didn't play like Time Splitters, y'all didn't play Unreal back then.
I played Unreal, but I played on PC.
I played the Unreal demo. I never owned it.
Okay. I used to play Nickelodeon Racing on my PC. I played like a bunch of different stuff when I was
playing Banjo-Kazooie.
Pajama Sam, Putt Golf. Like,
hey, you was playing all the $5 bin games.
I was playing them. Yeah, bro. I played a lot when I was a kid. I feel like, I don't know, maybe this is just true about everybody. I felt like when 360 came out, like around that time of like Call of Duty started to get massive. Halo
it just took over the culture.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
then I was just like, oh, I just play shooters now. Like I really put those other games aside. I was like, oh, well, I was a teenager at that point, so I was kind of like, oh, I'll play those children games. I play real shooters now. Like, look, so I don't know.
We went
Maybe
through
that's
that. We all went
interesting.
through that phase. That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Interesting.
Freaking more Xbox news. Microsoft might cut Xbox loose to try to save the brand. Aaron Holmes from The Information recently reported that Microsoft is looking to overhaul its Xbox gaming division. What would this mean? A number of things. As a joint venture, that means other companies can purchase an ownership stake in Xbox. Should Microsoft go the wholly owned subsidiary route, as Sony Interactive Entertainment is, what it's worth, Xbox would no longer be able to keep Microsoft from footing the bill. They'd be forced to become profitable. Microsoft wouldn't be Xbox's sugar daddy anymore. They'd have their backs against the wall. So basically, they've been floating around ideas inside of Xbox of potentially selling off pieces of it and giving it to somebody else so that they can have responsibility and it won't just be on Microsoft. Do we think that this is a thing that could actually happen, Watts?
Maybe, because we saw the news about Xbox and they are not making money. They're making no money at all. So yeah, I think we're looking at a pretty dark times for, I mean, it's for a lot of companies, but Xbox is going to have to let go of probably a lot of people. And then Microsoft might just want to say, look, guys, it's how long has Microsoft essentially been subsidizing this division? A long time.
Xbox One, probably. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, might have been since the beginning.
Yeah. And just to like give context of what Watts is talking about, reports also came out this week that Xbox lost millions of subscribers when the Game Pass jumped 50%. That was the move that they made.
Wow. Which they had to renege. This makes sense why they had to renege.
Yeah, who could have seen that coming? Yeah,
broke. Which, you know, can I just say, as much as we wag our finger at people for not being socially conscious, shout out to the gamers. Y'all voted with y'all. I wish y'all would do this more. The power. This shows you y'all got power. If they do something you don't like, don't fucking buy it, man. And they will make changes. Now they're scrambling to try to get themselves together. But what's your thoughts on this story, Jay, about Microsoft potentially selling parts of the company away for Xbox?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we're still seeing layoffs at Microsoft and Xbox. So I just don't think, I mean, though Microsoft is, again, I think they're going to be fine just with what they've done historically with Windows. For Xbox, they might just see it as a point of like, all right, well, you've had your time and you weren't able to become profitable. Therefore, we're just going to spin you off. You know, it was a fun little project, but it's been over 20 years at this point, and you're not doing anything for us, and we're already having layoffs at our Microsoft division, and you're also having layoffs at your Xbox division. So why not just get rid of you and see what you can do on your own? I don't see this as being something that's far-fetched. This could definitely happen. But the question is, if this does happen, then where would Xbox be? Because if you're already not making money, and now you don't have Microsoft, you don't have Daddy Microsoft that's funneling money to you, then what would you be? I don't want to see you have to become, I mean, it might end up being it. And I remember we kind of, floated around the idea, but Xbox might legit become just a game company, and you're just going to be making games. You might end up being like a Sega. Would that be, entirely bad for the landscape of video games? Maybe not, but I'm sure that your long-term fans, all the Xbox around here, will be pretty upset if you do become a company that just makes video games and nothing else, and you don't have any hardware to sell them. So we'll see, because obviously they're all in on the Game Pass. They're still all in on cloud gaming. So they still have some initiative that they're trying to implement, but we just have to see if they will be executed. And if they're executed, will they actually become profitable? Because you're trying all these things. Game Pass did seem like a really good subscription service, but then you turn around, you raise the prices, you lose millions of subscribers. You've had this whole debacle of whether people that put their games on Game Pass, is that hurting the overall sales if they just use Game Pass to play your game versus buying the game outright. So there's always been some controversy with the Game Pass period, and we still don't know what the full aspect of cloud gaming will be in terms of what Microsoft and Xbox really wants to do. So a lot of factors here. I don't want to see them drop out of the race. I don't want to see it just be Sony and Nintendo. I think that would be a terrible, terrible time here. Seeing how both of them operate.
Especially how lazy Nintendo's gotten, which we'll talk about later.
Yeah, I want to see someone I want to see someone over here still, have a horse in the overall race. But if this does end up becoming true and Xbox can't hold its weight, then yeah, we are going to see it just becoming a company that just makes video games and nothing else. So.
Yeah, I was curious. So, I Googled what's the stock price on Microsoft. They're sitting at $390 a share. But the thing is, they're down 88% in the last year. So I was trying. I was like, well, how bad is the bleed? That's pretty fucking bad.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah. So I'm like,
yeah.
My thought on this is I agree with you, Jay. I don't want to see Xbox go, and I kind of feel bad for Asha because it kind of feels like this could potentially turn into, if they do end up selling, into a scapegoat situation, because I feel like the conversation will shift away from look what Phil did to fuck the company over to look, Whammon can't run it. Asha,
and
fuck
she's
the
Indian, so
Yeah, they're gonna she just got it feels like this could potentially be a scapegoat situation, and I don't like that. But I don't want to see Xbox go.
No, I don't either.
Yeah, y'all gonna have to figure it out. Y'all can't be releasing this next Xbox needs to hit. Y'all need to add some type of value to the living room. Whether it's the best security in console, the best pricing, free online, something. That's because I said on Twitch the other day, I was like, would you buy an Xbox if the online was free like Steam? And the whole chat was like, yes, I would switch away from PlayStation. And I believe it, because most people, we've seen the stats, do not buy them PlayStation exclusives. They be buying third-party games like NBA 2K, Madden, Fortnite, and all that other shit. So if that's what they primarily play, and you can get a free online experience and it's just plug and play, they could bring people back. It's just a matter of, do they want to take the hit with making Xbox free? Because Xbox online has never been free. They're the ones that introduced it to console. We'll see how this one plays out. We're gonna keep an eye on the story. Keep in mind,
keep an eye on it.
It's rumors. None of it is confirmed.
People want Xbox to buy Bungie and Destiny. Guys,
nah.
You've lost your mind. You've gone crazy.
You need to.
You need to.
Who wants to buy them?
You know who?
I don't.
The Saudis.
Oh my god, bro. I always forget that exists until they buy them.
Well, they go, if
based on what I've seen,
apart,
they're begging Elon Musk to buy it. I think that'd be cool with anything. And I think at that point, you need to just grieve and move on, because you've lost your damn mind. Lost it, dude.
Freaking other Xbox rumor that hasn't been confirmed. Apparently, Gears of War E-Day was supposed to be a PS5 game, but last minute, Xbox decided to pull it, but this article is stating that is not true. In a tweet, because a tweet came out from an old podcast, the official Xbox podcast, where they were interviewing the devs, and they showed a screenshot, and on it said PS5. So they're calling Xbox liars, basically saying that because Xbox said it wasn't last minute, and people were like, nah, because this old screenshot from a podcast showed up, and it was supposed to come from PS5. So some people are trying to figure out, is that real? Is it a fuck up? And I thought about it, and I'm like, it could be a situation where, because I know from working with brands, they'll send you assets over to edit into your video ahead of time. And it could be a situation where some intern sent the wrong flyer, like an old one, and maybe Xbox wasn't lying. It wasn't last minute, and somebody from Microsoft sent the wrong thing, but there's no way to tell. It's all he say, she say. Either way, to be fair, I don't really care whether it came to PS5 or not, because I was going to buy it on PC anyway. But y'all think Xbox is lying? Y'all think that they said that it wasn't like a last minute thing like they said?
I don't know. I think that it kind of seems like Xbox clearly wants to do exclusives again, right? But there's some games that are still coming to PlayStation, like Halo is July 28th release date. It's coming to PlayStation as well. And I feel like if they had a choice, they might have wanted that to have been an exclusive. But there's obviously going to be a point that you can't just be like, nope, just kidding, because copies have already been printed. They're ready to go. You can't just pull the plug on that. So contracts and everything. I feel like these kind of business decisions don't just happen last second. I feel like you can't do that.
That doesn't make sense to me. Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me that it was a last minute, like, no, actually, because these things take a long time to happen. There's contracts in place. There's things that have to be done that you can't just go, nope, never mind. So it doesn't make sense to me that it would be last minute.
You believe this, Jay?
I think we would need clarification on what last minute means. Is last minute like last week? Is last minute like a couple months? Like, I don't know what last minute means in this particular situation. I think there could be a world where you saw what Sony did and you were like, all right, we're about to pull the plug and pull back on our exclusives as well, which I do believe did happen internally within Microsoft. I think Sony was the one that probably pulled the trigger and lit the match and was like, yeah, we're not about to do this either. So I do believe that this was last minute, but I think people are taking it literally last minute, like last week or yesterday, for when the Xbox conference actually happened. So I think people are just taking that too literal, but I think this was a last minute decision. I think they did initially have plans to put Gears on Gears E-Day on PS5 because they already put Gears on PS5 and they just decided, hey, we're not going to do this anymore. This has to be our exclusive, and we are going to emphasize that this is going to be our Xbox exclusive. So,
do you think that they would have bought the game Ethos if it went to PS5 E-Day?
Oh, 100%.
I don't know. They didn't buy the Gears remake from last.
That was ass. That was terrible.
True.
I wouldn't have told them to buy it either. I'd have told them that junk was terrible. That was definitely a half-ass put together remaster. I seen a couple of people say that they actually did this the last minute. Like, I heard that this was like the day of they decided this. And there's a couple of I think tweets that have kind of confirmed that they cut this really close. Apparently, you see Yoshida tweeted and was like, yeah. Apparently there's a tweet where it's like, I don't think Sony's very happy about what Microsoft did. Apparently they didn't give them any heads up that this was going to happen. They were under the impression they were going to get it, and they pulled this thing last minute. Another example of this was when Xbox had a podcast, I think a couple days after this announcement, where they were talking more in depth about Gears. And on that podcast, they were using the old trailer information or posters.
That's what I was showing, yeah.
Yeah. And it had the E-Day thing. So like these things kind of tell me that it was just like, well, what I've heard, someone might have slid something under my door, was that this was very quick, that only the higher echelons of leadership were aware. I think it was like Asha, Booty, and like a couple other people like in that higher echelon made the call on this, and they did not tell anyone else. So they didn't tell any of the marketing people. They didn't tell none of them. And then they made the call and told them, hey, we need you to strike this stuff like before we go live with this sort of stuff. And then they went on and did it like a day or the day of when they were going to do it, because they didn't want it to get leaked. I saw like two like well-known leakers also point this out, that it was very fast.
So I seen on social media too that now the conversation after that, the whole Gears thing happened, it's starting to shift to some people are making the argument that maybe Asha is listening too much to the Xbox cry, the vocal minority, and they're saying like maybe she needs to stand her own too instead of just listening to everything the fans have to say. But then some people are saying that, well, y'all complain they didn't listen, they're listening now. Now you're complaining that they're listening. Like, do you think that she's listening too much now? That now that's part of the conversation.
I'm a little concerned. I wouldn't say I'm full on concerned. I am a little concerned that like if it was this sporadic of when they decided to like cut that, that's definitely something where I feel like Phil and the previous guard would have been like, this is something we're going to plan for next year. And then it gets leaked before that happens. And I wonder that's why they're doing it so sporadically, is Microsoft has had this they've been having just the worst luck. Like every time they were planning on doing something, it got leaked. Someone leaked it like weeks or way before they intended to release that information, so they couldn't control the narrative. And I wonder if Asha is trying to take the reverse, where it's like, well, I'm just going to be so sporadic that we're not going to worry about leaks because then no one's going to know until the day of or the week of. So there's not enough time for like a narrative to appear. So as you see, unlike previously with Xbox, it feels like this time around they're setting the narrative, which I think is interesting. Is that like this is not a scenario of us like guessing, oh, is it going to be on PlayStation 5? And then people setting and saying, oh, they screwed. Like they just shut up and said, no, it's going to be on PC. And they dropped it immediately when they revealed it. So I wonder if this is like a taking back of the narrative play that they're trying to do. Not necessarily like she's listening to people who are a vocal minority. But at the end of the day, to be fair to Xbox, to be fair to them, I have never seen the amount of ass pulling like 180s that I've seen a lot of people on this website do. Like, I've never seen a group of people literally slander Xbox, talk about they ain't got no exclusives, they ain't got no games, nobody wants to play their games. We've heard them say this. We've heard so many people talk about this. Like, they love saying that all the time. I've never seen those same people, the exact same people, are tweeting that it's not fair. Why would they do this? That it's unjust and that it's cheating. I just don't know what's happening. I'm like, kind of what you're saying. I don't know what's going to happen. So you want Xbox to have exclusives, but when they give them, they take some and say it's going to be our exclusive. Now you're mad because you're like, no one's going to buy the console. But then you're telling them that no one's going to buy the console because they don't have exclusives. So now that they're getting exclusives, you're mad because now you can't play it on your PS5.
It's almost like we should leave the business to business people.
Yeah. What are we doing?
Make it make sense.
Yeah, make it. I can't understand the sense in it. It's the people that said they were clowning Xbox because they didn't have games, and now Xbox is like, all right, bet we gonna get some games, and now you're mad that they're taking back their games. So I don't understand it. I don't understand the argument. Why certain people are getting mad that it's off of PS5. If you're on PC, like we've been saying for years, you're good. You don't care about none of this mess. You're just like, hey, I was going to play it no matter what. If you're on Xbox, you're static. And I think the only people who are obviously mad are going to be PlayStation people, because I think, be honest here, don't matter what side of the stupid plastic war you're on, Gears looks fire. It looks good.
Look very good.
It looks good. So yeah, you can't lie. You can't BS your way through that. So. And it's going to happen to Fable. So yeah, it's probably going to happen to Fable too. It's going to happen to. Did they say Halo? Halo's still going to go through, right? They said the Halo.
I don't nobody want that game.
Halo's coming to PlayStation.
Yeah, I was sure they weren't going to renege on Halo. That's probably because
I don't know about any future ones. If that's
funny.
Yeah,
I had Halo on the notes. I forgot to talk about that shit.
The third person.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Here's your transition.
Here's your perfect transition.
Still coming to PlayStation.
Yeah,
as far as we know, yeah. I'm not gonna lie, that shit looked really good. Where I'm like, they might want to keep that one to themselves, but
yeah,
they probably should. It's anti-consumer, but it's good for them.
Yeah.
Besides the 30-minute gameplay demo for Fable, they also dropped a 10-minute demo for Halo Combat Evolved, or Campaign Evolved, which is the remake in the Unreal Engine 5, which will include a third-person mode, so you can re-experience a classic first-person shooter in third person. What's that doing for you, Jay?
I mean, this is actually interesting. I was like, damn, like, are they trying to maybe actually go and play the game again? Because I haven't played Halo, like the original Halo, especially the campaign, in a very long time. I think I only played it the original Halo. I haven't played any remakes, remasters, none of that stuff. But I was like, damn, like this actually looks like a totally different game almost in third person. So I was like, damn, I kind of do want to try that. Like she was moving, and it's where I was like, damn, like I feel like I don't move like that in first person, but in third person, he was kind of getting it. So I was like, man, like, are they really gonna, like, I had no interest. Like, why do I want to play this? There's no interest for me to play this, but I like the third person. I kind of do at least want to try it out and see. So so they kind of, they kind of got me. They kind of got me. So we'll see.
That's interesting you said that, because I had the total opposite response. I didn't like the third person, and for the exact opposite reason, which marked this, we're disagreeing for the comment section. To me, in third person, it looks like a clear afterthought. He runs like he has a wedgie and his hips hurt. like there's no, when he's running, there's no like natural movement. And I'm like, this just looks like an afterthought for something they put in there last second to try to, we're also going to have this mode in there, because we all know this is going to be a hard sell unless you have Game Pass, because there's no multiplayer in this. But to me, he looks really stiff, and I just, for someone who's supposed to be a super soldier, why is he running like he's got fucking shit up his leg like Trump? What'd you think, Watts?
I actually didn't like the colors. I was watching it and I was like, it's something off about it. There's something off about the way that it looks to me. I'm not sure if I like the redesign. It's not like a complete redesign of stuff, but it is using a different engine and whatever. And yeah. So
before I toss it to Ethos, that means so far, since JG's the one that really liked this shit, we all kind of agreed by September we're probably gonna have to take duties and pick games so we can cover everything. I'm gonna go ahead and put JG in charge of Campaign Evolve. You got it, bro.
I thought it was coming out in next month.
It's July 28th.
No, it's July. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
it's July.
Well, yeah, you're
I'll
in
try
charge
that.
of
I'll
that.
try
You're in
that
charge of
July.
that. You're in charge of that. Yeah, that's on
Yeah,
you.
I'll try that on July. Okay, I'll do that.
I'll be playing Avatar. You got it.
All right, cool.
I'll be playing Grand Blue Fantasy Relink Ragnarok.
Same.
That's a mouthful.
Relink Ragnarok.
Yeah.
What'd you think,
It's an
Ethos, the
expansion,
third
isn't it?
person?
Cool. I mean, I'm not gonna be mad at more options, so I'm not
True.
gonna play it. I'm not gonna play that shit in third person. But I thought the game looked really cool. I know some people are arguing about how UE5 slop or Shine. It doesn't look like the original. It takes away the allure of it. But I've saw some gameplay, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. That ocean looked insane. I was like, oh my God. I was just staring at it for like 5 minutes. Like just the detail that they've had. I watched like a video where they're like zooming in on sort of stuff. Like when you had dropped a weapon in the sand, like some of the sand would actually cover over the weapon. It would like through the wind. I was like, holy shit, this is insane. Too bad like majority of gamers are never going to notice this stuff. But I was like, yo, that's actually insane quality. So yeah, I mean, to be fair, I have never played the first Halo. I never played the first campaign. I played like 5 minutes of it from the Master Chief Collection, but I never beat it all the way through. So this might be something I might be like, oh, I'll try it out. I'll play with JG. I'll co-op it with JG.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And keep in mind, you couldn't even run on the original Halo. So, I mean, it might be why you feel how you feel, TBH. Because, I mean, first of all, you couldn't see it. It was the first person, but it was hella slow. So,
yeah. I love the sprint.
Remember. I'm old.
I love the sprint. Trigger Halo fans.
Yeah. Keep talking, Ethos, because I'm curious to hear your take on this one. I know you're a big fan.
Jesus.
Rumor, not confirmed,
Mhm.
but apparently there's an unannounced Witcher multiplayer game coming slated for PC and a mobile. According to this report, sources describe this new game to be set in the Witcher universe is a free-to-play co-op action RPG. It's slated for PC and mobile devices. The free-to-play model and platform choice could mirror the scale of Horizon Steel Frontiers, which is that cartoony-looking one. Oh, wait, is that the cartoony or the more realistic one? I forgot.
Cartoon.
This is the cartoony? Okay. In terms of plot, the story is set in the year 1230, during a time when Geralt was still a younger Witcher. The game will put you in the boots of your very own customizable Witcher, featuring standard options you expect from a multiplayer experience, like gender and appearance customization. Gameplay-wise, the title will take you on contracts to kill monsters across several environments that players have come to expect from the series, such as dark forests, vibrant villages, and haunted ruins. There's a skill-based system that drives the combat mechanics, letting you choose abilities from different Witcher schools, shaping your moveset by mastering signs and brewing potions. This combat is said to reward player skill with well-timed blocks, dodges, parries, and executions. Just keep in mind that nothing has been confirmed.
Just a Monster Hunter ass Witcher
I was
game.
about to say, this sound like a Watch game.
That's Monster Hunter. I mean, I've always said,
wait, is this the new trend in the gaming industry? This is like the fourth fucking Monster Hunter type game to be coming out, bro.
It's weird because they do this like Monster Hunter-ish, but then they actually skew more Night Rain. Because they go like roguelike, kind of less like super involved RPG, getting armor upgrades and weapon upgrades. And yeah, they go more like Night Rain roguelike.
Yeah, I think if I'm gonna guess with CD Projekt, it's probably gonna be the opposite. Like I think it probably won't be roguelike. It'll probably be closer to what I think a lot of people are gonna want, which is like this, like you're playing as a Witcher that you're growing in power.
Yeah.
I think that's something that I think a lot of fans would love to see.
I'd be down for that.
The biggest criticism of Witcher has always been like that I've always known is people will complain about the combat and be like, oh, it's not. But granted, I've always said like back for the time it came out, I was like, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't the most amazing thing, but it wasn't terrible. But I think like with we're talking about a decade later, people see Monster Hunter, pieces of that. I think like if they did like add a sort of like make it feel more like Monster Hunter, like Elden Ring, like combat style, and like they were able to fuse that together with like that type of RPG customization where you get your own cool Witcher and you get to like run the path and you do the whole experiment, you become a Witcher and you're fighting these different things. It's really cool. I've always thought the loop of like feeling like it's like a medieval Batman where you're just like you're laying out these clues, you're trying to figure out what you're hunting, and then when you discover what you're hunting, then you read the bestiary, you try to learn its weaknesses, what strength again, and then you prep before you fight, which is like Monster Hunter. You're prepping before that, you're drinking your potions and stuff like that to get special powers that will help you fight against this sort of enemy. Like that's always been the sort of magical loop of Witcher. So to see that like in a multiplayer standpoint with some friends, I think it could be fire. It depends on if they can execute it. They said CD Projekt's working on this, or is this like is this like a Nintendo, not Nintendo, Game
The article
Freak?
just says CD Projekt Red.
Okay, I mean, if it's CD Projekt cooking it, then I mean, yeah, it could be good. The
only
only
thing that would concern
the
me is-
mobile.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. This is gonna look like
I'm glad you
Mobile and
said
PC,
that.
mobile and
Well, it's
PC.
yeah, it's not that it's
Yeah.
mobile. It's that combination of PC and mobile. It just screams gotcha game to me. It's always a weird combination.
Yeah, because like I've played a gotcha game and like I played the recent one that came out, Infield, and that game I don't know how like the mobile and PC. It's like they somehow got the fidelity still good on mobile, and I was like, how is this possible? This is witchcraft. How did they figure this out? So I mean, like I think a lot of people are shocked to realize how strong phones have gotten lately, where like they can push out console graphics. I'm not saying PS5 graphics, but they can push out solid graphics, like nothing that's like
Better than PS4.
Yeah. Some of them can. Yeah, some of the flagships can definitely push like higher than PS4 graphics. So,
What?
It's possible. Like it could look really good, but I agree with what you're saying. I'm like a little concerned about the mobile thing. Like, is this gonna be a whole, gotcha or monetary? Like we're just gonna be trying to push a lot of monetary stuff. But who knows? It could be good. It could be good. Wasn't the Horizon game also mobile? I could have swore they said it was mobile too, right?
No.
Who
I don't
was
know
the
about that
mobile
one.
Okay, no. Oh, Horizon has a mobile game being made by another company, and then they also have the Hunter's Gathering being made by Guerrilla.
Oh, they were mad because it was on PC. Well, no. There was one they said it's not on PS5. Which one was that? They were like,
That's
how the hell are you making a
mobile
Horizon
one.
game? Okay, so they said it was on PC and mobile, but it was never. So
Yeah.
that's one we have not seen yet.
Yeah, we've seen a bit
Okay.
of gameplay of it, but we haven't been able to play it or anything.
Gotcha. Okay, and that's different. That looks more realistic than the cartoon one.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Horizon's an industry
What are
player.
they
That is
doing?
insane. That is absolutely
strange.
insane. That is so strange.
Who asked for that? As far as this Witcher
Sony.
thing,
Sony did.
you're not wrong. Yeah, you're right. They do love a live service. I'm never gonna complain about a co-op game, an action RPG. It's just more about how it's executed. I do like what I'm hearing with it's gonna reward dodging and parrying and all that stuff. So like if it's an engaging, difficult game that you have to play with your friends, cool. It's just when I see that PC and mobile, I get red flag. Like if it said PC, Xbox, PlayStation, and mobile, like with Switch, then I wouldn't really care. But it's always specifically that combination. That's usually a gotcha game. We got to keep an eye on that one, I think. Any thoughts, Jay?
Nah, because I don't play Witcher, so
Why you say that like it was a slur?
He doesn't like Zelda either. He don't like none of that Minish
Like
Cap
none of
shit.
that.
Hey,
Yeah.
I do like Ocarina of Time, and I do like Wind Waker. Those are only two that I played.
That Minish Cap shit. What else I got for you? Oh, okay. We can get your take on this one then. So we got some bad news for the Souls fans. So there's a company that owns the company that makes the game called Elden Ring and other Souls-like games. They own a stake in the company. I think it's like 13% or whatever. And these investors are demanding that From Software finds new ways to monetize their games because they're not happy with the returns that they're getting on the sales from Software games. This is the same company that said you should charge Mario to jump higher, like give some type of paid thing. They want more microtransactions in From Software games. Does it mean it's going to happen? No, but the idea is being pitched. And you were saying on Twitter, Miyazaki said something, Watts, about this? Like,
yeah. So this is an activist investor group, not to be confused with like wokeness, but it's an investor that tries to basically like slowly acquire shares in a company so that then they can have a seat at the table and influence it. They are not happy with what the president of Kadokawa is doing with FromSoft. So they're actually trying to get him kicked out and replaced with someone that they want to be the owner of Kadokawa. Miyazaki came out recently to kind of talk about it. It was very recent, actually. And he was just like, don't worry about it. I'm not worried about it. We cool. Look forward to our announced and unannounced projects. Is essentially the TLDR of what he said. So it's, I don't know if this company will be able to influence something. I think it is a little concerning with them trying to replace like the guy in charge at Kadokawa because they are the one that publishes FromSoft stuff. But basically this company is just not happy with what Kadokawa is doing to make FromSoft make money. Like they want them to put out more content. They want them to be putting out games all the time, where everyone else is like, they make some of the best games ever made. Just let them do their thing. Leave them alone. They're doing great. They're selling crazy copies. But they're like, but what if we could get Elden Ring every year? You should do that. You should get a CEO who does that. So I hope it doesn't happen. Miyazaki, I mean, I'm sure he wouldn't come out and go, yeah, I'm actually terrified about what's going to happen. But he did say not to worry about it and to look forward to future projects.
I think what wigged me out about this is it just reminds me of how much I hate these fucking corporations. So while you were talking, I went and did the math. I went on VG charts and I looked up how many units did Elden Ring sell. And as of July 2025, it has moved 35 million units. We're not counting any other From Software games.
That's not
Holy.
So I did the math. 35 million times $70 comes out to $2.4 billion. Elden Ring.
God damn.
And keep in mind, this is not up-to-date data. I'm pretty sure it's more than 35 million.
And they're about to come out on Switch too.
And yeah, they're about to come out on Switch. Then you add in Sekiro, you added Night Rain, you add in all the Dark Souls series. They've easily probably pushed over $5 billion. And these investor groups came in and said, we want more. To me, this shit is fucking disgusting. And it's just like, I hope that they don't find a way to wiggle their way further into this company and ruin it. Because the reason I wanted to cover this article is I'm like, if they do find a way to acquire more shares and get influence in the company, we could be looking at a fucking basura ass Elden Ring 2 or Sekiro 2 or anything that they're working. Who knows? Maybe that Dust Bloods on the Switch is one of the reasons why they want to find a way to monetize through multiplayer. It's a yellow flag. It scares me a little bit. I'm like, one of our goats could be potentially getting fucked with because they want to be greedy. And that's just, what do you mean Elden Ring every year? You can't make a To Pimp a Butterfly every fucking year. It's not possible.
Miyazaki will leave with all of his money and make a new studio and hire everyone. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Then Bloodborne 2?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, maybe it's could be a blessing in disguise, but we don't know.
I think people would actually sacrifice watching microtransactions and stuff hit From Software if they could get a Bloodborne 2. That's the worst part. I actually
they
would do that.
They would.
Be like,
they would. They don't care about any of the.
I want to ruin the industry. Yeah, actually, you're right, because people are ready to pay $100 for GTA 6. You're right.
They would do it.
They would do it. Yeah, this is this Oasis management. Like, can y'all go somewhere? Like, what are y'all doing? What's wrong with them? Yeah, like this is. This really hurt my head to see that there's an investment company that is trying to basically, stronghold their way into more shares and more power into Katakawa and get rid of the head because he doesn't want to make From Software make more games. Like, this is absolutely ridiculous. And we've seen this time and time again when investors, shareholders, people in chairs start demanding more, how it literally taints a lot of these studios because they do not have the creative freedom to be able to create whatever they want. So I remember I thought they're From Software for the longest. I thought that they were by themselves, but then when I found out about them being with Katakawa, I was like, oh well, they still been operating nicely from what we've seen. So I'm like, oh, okay, everything's cool, but nope, here comes a greedy investor. Here comes another greedy investor trying to get some more money and squeeze some more money out of these studios. It's absolutely ridiculous. These people do not need to be in the video game industry. You need to be somewhere else because clearly you do not care about the art. You do not care about how anybody feels about some of the greatest games that we have ever seen. They came from one studio that is under a corporation that you somehow managed to get shares in, and you want more? Fuck you, bro. Like, get out of here. That shit pisses me off so much that you want more Elden Ring from Software when they are just trying to mind their business and make great games for all of us to play and enjoy.
And it's not like they don't make money. They're not just sitting there making like side art pieces that sell a couple 100,000. They're selling millions.
Yeah, they ain't making no bullshit now. Come on. That's crazy, man.
It's the root of all evil. It's just like, when do you say enough is enough? This is one of those stories where it's like, I'm just going to keep an eye on it and see is this going to develop any further, or is it a nothing burger? And I hope it turns out to be a nothing burger and they tell them shareholders to shut the fuck up and let us just make what we want to make. I hope you guys have something plentiful to say for this next subject, because I'm going to be honest, I don't know what to say. I'll go ahead and say it. This is one of the worst fucking showcases that I've seen in recent memory, especially after coming off of the State of the Play, the Summer Games Fest, and the Xbox Showcase. Nintendo did a direct this past week, and I'm glad I didn't watch it live because it pissed me off going through this summary article. There was nothing for me to highlight here. It was nothing but ports. They announced the remake of Ocarina of Time. I've already beat that game like 7 times. I'm not saying I won't buy it, but that's not a day one cop for me. I've already beat that shit. There wasn't really nothing here for me. I don't want to play Dragon's Dogma 2 Dark Horizon. I'm good off that. Does anybody have anything to say more positive? Hopefully, put some positive energy in the air.
I was excited about Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen because we actually thought, like, even if I understand not being a fan of the game, but like it finally had come back after so many years since Dragon's Dogma had happened, and then it kind of looked like we weren't going to get any more Dragon's Dogma ever again. No iteration on it, nothing. And then this was just like out of nowhere. So the fans of Dragon's Dogma were extremely excited to see that because we've heard nothing, lost all hope, and then it was at a damn Nintendo Direct, which is crazy. So that was cool to see. I was also happy to see the new Fire Emblem, even though it's coming out September 17th.
That's the one. I'll give you that. I was like, okay, maybe I'll get that one. Yeah, I agree with that.
September 17th.
September 17th.
It's
Very free. Nothing else is
Lord.
happening. Nope. So I was happy to see that. And then a new Xenoblade was pretty exciting. Like, it's one of the best RPGs you can play. So if you've never played Xenoblade, I think Xenoblade Genesis might be a good one. And then there was Dustbloods, which
That one
was
definitely
at this point, I hope they don't show us anything until the network test happens and everyone just goes in knowing that there's a rat with wings and there's like some timey-wimey stuff. It kind of looks like Bloodborne and there's like some PvP stuff happening. I hope we don't know anything because that was like, what? This trailer shows us nothing. We only know that it's like 7 players. 7 players. I think that's like.
Oh, what about Kingdom Hearts 4? Confirmed for the Switch too.
We would be remiss though if we didn't mention it, even if nobody likes it in this. But I mean, I feel like I have to play it now at this point. Kingdom Hearts 3, I wasn't really a fan of, but I beat it. But the Kingdom Hearts 4 fans, again, they finally got it. So I'm happy for them. You know, it's one of these franchises that they've been waiting for a long time. I'm super happy.
When's it coming out again, Jay?
It said
you talking like it's a data. So remind me, was it coming out? Oh, yeah, but it's coming to the Switch too, though. You watched it live, Ethos. What did you think?
It could have been an email. It could honestly not have been an email. I watched it live. I was so angry, bro. When I saw Dustblood, I said, oh, finally, we're going to see some gameplay. It's just something of Dustbloods. They showed that 15, 20-second wheel. I was pissed. I was like, there was no way I woke up at 9 o'clock in the morning for this. And then there was like nothing. Like the only thing I got excited about was I was really excited for Fire Emblem because like I loved the last game. So I'm excited for this one. And that game, the new one's actually tied to 3 Houses, which is a good and a bad thing because that means we got to go through all the discourse of 3 Houses all over again, which is terrible. I'm not looking forward to that, but I am excited to see all the Black people that are in this one. That's got me really excited. And also it seems like you're picking actually like actual characters this time around. Like it's I've seen a box art that appears and people are like saying, oh god, they're gonna do a white savior trope. So I don't know. I'm not gonna say nothing until I know for myself, but I do know from the trailer they said there's like 4 main characters and you could pick the one that you're gonna invest in and the person that you're gonna play and see their story for. And all 4 of them look really compelling and cool. And they have some sort of connection to the previous Fire Emblem through either like, oh, this is like so-and-so's granddaughter or something like that. So I was like, oh, okay. It's a lot of cool things. Xenoblade, I'd never played it, but to hear that all of them are going to get put on the Switch and the new one, I might check it out. I never got into Xenoblade, but I have like a couple friends that like swear by me that it's like phenomenal. So I'm like, all right,
I'm surprised you never played Xenoblade. You seem like a type that would.
I know. I mean, I'm also the type that should have played Metaphor, but I haven't had a chance to beat that yet. So I'm just really behind on a lot of stuff. Was there anything else I really cared about?
Orbital's got a release date.
Yeah.
So because it kept saying like this
I wish
summer
that would come to
or
Steam.
something.
Yeah. The Fire Emblem, I mean not Fire Emblem, Final Fantasy looked cool. The Resonance. I know it's like
yes, Final Fantasy Resonance. Cool. Yeah, so that is like it's not. I guess you could say it's a remake of a mobile game that no longer exists. Yeah. But it's taken out all of the mobile game stuff and made it into like a standalone single player RPG. So I think that's cool because it's been a really long time since we've had like that kind of 2D HD Final Fantasy that's turn based. So that was cool to see. I'd be down to play that.
I ain't gonna lie, I was sick to my stomach when I saw the JJK game. I was like, "Oh shit, we gonna do JJK game!" And then
JJK Vampire Survivors.
Vampire Survivors. I said, "What the
PvP kind of?"
This direct felt to me like something I would expect in like year 6 or 7 of the Switch 2, where like they're starting to wind down a little bit. Because I love a good JRPG too, but it's like it feels like Nintendo doesn't know. Like, we know they did, but did you guys know you put out a new console? Where the fuck? We haven't had a new Mario in like 8 years.
You know what? I think this is exactly what I expect from the Nintendo. They're always behind. I feel like every time they come out, they're always a generation behind. Because remember when the Wii U came out? Do you remember what they were showing?
Yeah.
Mass Effect 3 Wii U edition.
Yeah.
Like they were bringing back a bunch of games that just came out or that were in that last year, 2 years. Because whenever Nintendo drops something, they're always from a power standpoint behind. So they're trying to play catch up with their third party. But a lot of gamers like us have already played 3/4 of the stuff they showed. Majority of us here have already played it. So it's like, I can't get excited. I can't get jiggy with none of this shit. I've played all of this. So it's like, why? I feel like I've wasted my time because it's like you're showing me a bunch of Switch games and the allure or just the excitement that I had for being able to play Witcher on the Switch back then is different now. The landscape's changed. You got Steam Decks, you've got all these new mobile devices. The main thing that the Switch had, which was this ability to play your games on the go, is gone now. There's now a multitude of options.
Competition caught up.
Yeah, the competition caught them. So now, and the problem is, on top of that, their competition even sometimes has more powerful.
Not sometimes is most of the time.
All the time. Yeah.
So you don't have the same allure of hearing, oh my god, like with Cyberpunk when they announced, oh, Cyberpunk's gonna be on Switch too. It wasn't even that exciting because it was like, well, I mean, we've been playing that shit on Steam Deck for the last 3 years. Yeah, it's not that exciting.
Yeah, what are you going to give us that's different? Yeah, I mean, that's a great point. I mean, I was hoping that the Switch 2 would eliminate that issue that Nintendo has been facing for a decade at this point, but it did it. We're still seeing these older games that are getting showcased for whatever reason, coming to the Switch 2. I couldn't imagine being somebody that just has a Switch, like that just has Nintendo products and nothing else. Like, and then like you were like you're like excited about these games, but like they're like 1, 2, 3 years old. Even like it's rare that like you'll have some of these games come out the same day. Like they did show Onimusha. I was like, okay, that's cool. Like it's like Way the Sword's coming, but that's not happening every single time. I thought that it would, but they still struggle to catch up.
Am I wrong for saying, like, I feel like ever since the success of the Nintendo Wii, they've been chasing that high ever since. Like with every platform, it always has to have like some gimmick. And like, I kind of want to see Nintendo just make a traditional console like they did with the GameCube. That because people forget the GameCube was just as powerful as like the PS2 and the Xbox back then.
The GameCube was traditional. I feel like the GameCube
was like more than what we got right now. I would like to see them just make a regular fucking console that's powerful. Yeah. That's it. So then, because to be fair, if I see a regular Nintendo console that's powerful, I'm going to play a lot of the first party and third party games over there. But like, because they're always making weaker hardware, the only reason to be there now is for their exclusives. The problem is you just put out a Switch 2. We haven't got a new line Mario in forever I don't want to play Ninjala. I don't know about y'all. When I saw Ninjala 2, my eyes rolled in the back of my fucking
head.
You can buy that. You're going to buy a Switch for Ninjala 2. You're going to buy that, bro.
I played Mortal Kombat on the Switch. So
you're kind of crazy.
You don't know why you did that, man.
You can't
you're kind of crazy.
Nasty work.
I want a Sunshine 2. I want a new Odyssey or some type of new Mario. And then I want to see new IPs, man. Like the stuff that they made in the last generation, it wasn't hidden. Like, where's the second game? What's the game we played from Platinum with the robot dog that was on the Switch? He had the robot dog on the chain. Where's the second one for that? That game was fire.
That game was fire. I can't remember the name.
Where's Astro Chain?
Astro Chain, that's what it's called. Yeah.
That's what
Where's
we're talking
Astro
about.
Chain at? Yeah. Where's the sequel to that game? You guys got bangers, man. I just feel like
still Scarlet. What was the name of that one? Watch
Scarlet
Scarlet Nexus.
Yeah, go steal Scarlet Nexus. Xbox ain't doing nothing, bro. Go Nintendo, grab that and get the sequel rights. And get
I feel like Nintendo's just gotten a little lazy. A little lazy, man.
That's another I mean, yeah, it's another.
What Platinum?
They should re-release Bayonetta because Bayonetta 3 was terrible on the Switch. They should re-release it for the Switch too.
I still remember that because I didn't even get it because it was terrible, man.
The frame rate was dropping. I turned it off because I couldn't play it. I was like, this is hurting my fucking eyes, man.
What about that Rayman game? Is that new?
Rayman Legends is coming.
That's a remake. It's a remake. It has new content in it.
Retold.
Okay, so it's another.
But it's a remake. Yeah, I've already played the game. Great game though. Great game.
Yeah, Devil May Cry, that's heinous, bro. That
came out like 10 years ago, bro.
Yeah, that's money grab shit.
They're putting out Liza P, the complete edition.
Liza P.
I was like, already beat the DLC. Okay.
Miramasa.
I'm not trying to play no Souls game on them little as analog
Stellar Blade.
Miramasa looked cool.
It did, but that's like a remake, right? Isn't it? Wasn't
yeah,
it? Yeah, just an update of their game. Hey, don't worry, Vanilla's aware. They're gonna put it on Steam in a minute, so I'll wait.
Lords of the Fallen, huh?
I just want to see Nintendo do better, man. Stop making movies, make some games.
I wasn't excited for Splatoon.
No.
Japan is excited for Splatoon.
They like it.
I think that's just about anybody.
Is that really popping over there?
I don't want to squirt all everywhere, bro. I'm good off that.
Yeah. They love that boy over there. Minecraft.
They love that shit. Minecraft. Oh my god, bro.
Space Marines.
You played that already.
DayZ? Are you ready to play DayZ on your?
That's crazy.
DayZ. I'm like, all right, man.
Is that game finished yet? Is it on 1.0 yet?
Lord.
Hello Kitty Party Land.
True.
My daughter will play that. She'll love it. Yeah, that's a banger for her.
What about Fitmix Boxer boxing TBH?
We're trying way too hard, man. We're trying way too hard for the Switch too. I just want to see Nintendo do better, man. Because Xbox fucking up, Nintendo fucking up. Like, I just don't want to see a world where there's only PlayStation, man. That's an evil world. Evil world. Hey.
True.
Like major layoffs at Ubisoft again. 3 different studios. I didn't save all the articles, but 3 different studios across the globe. And on top of that, reports are coming out that the new Ghost Recon game is in development hell, as well as the new Far Cry. The article states the problems going on is upper management doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. And because of it, they have unrealistic deadlines and they're having a hard time meeting them. So anybody apparently injecting $2 billion into your company doesn't help.
Did I say Gilliboy, bro? Should get out of here. Like, he don't know what he doing, bro. Like that. I think we're at this point, bro. Like, it's really going to get to a point. Who do you even have working at Ubisoft? Like, you're. I swear you've suffered the most layoffs out of anybody. It's like you and Microsoft are competing.
Layoffs this year.
It's a lot, man. Y'all just literally spun off into another company, but what are y'all doing? That, like, literally everything that you're doing is not leading to giving us games. Like, I just don't understand that. Why are you not giving us the games? And instead, we're hearing about more layoffs than any new games.
Where did the money from Tencent go? They injected billions into them. And I just Googled it. The stock price of Ubisoft is $1.07 a share. We are 7 cents away from Ubisoft being a penny stock. Like, it's that bad.
Damn. That's really bad. I can only imagine that they're getting the injection of cash, letting go of a bunch of people, and then using that money to try and make something in the future, but they can't have that many employees for that long of time with that financial injection.
They need y'all to buy that Assassin's Creed remake, Resynced, or whatever that joint is called.
Honestly, seeing that health bar on the alligator got me kind of sad.
Why is that?
Because you're like going and trying to kill a pig and like an alligator for some resources, and they have a health bar, and they're just hacking away at this pig for like 20 hits. I was like, I don't know.
Well, I ain't playing that game regardless. I get it. He's supposed to be an elite assassin. It's taking too many hits.
Like, I can't tell you how many. I got so many emails from Ubisoft, and I'm like, why are you sending me emails? Why are you sending me Discord? It's always freaking The Division or something else that I don't care about. I'm like, when can I see Rainbows? I'm like, can I see something new, man? Like, it seems like y'all are desperate at this point to just have anyone do any content about games that are already out and have been out for years. I want to see something new. Like for me to really engage with y'all again, Ubisoft, it's really bad. I'm tired of having this conversation about y'all suffering layoffs. Like it's so bad at this point.
It is.
Either at this point, I'm like, either get it together or like, can y'all just disappear? Because they're kind of like GameStop to me, like the game studio version. Like, damn, another GameStop is almost dead article, which we have another one later today. Is this cap or real rap? Phantom Blade Zero developers were asked because recently they delayed the game till next year. I think February, right? Or
No, October 29th. Only a month.
Yeah,
I'm bugging,
October
October.
29th.
I'm bugging. I don't know why I thought that was next year. So yeah, they delayed it till October. And they were asked in an interview, was it to avoid GTA 6? And they said no. They don't even consider GTA 6 competition. They delayed it so that they could polish the game from September to October. And some people are calling cap on that rap. So I wanted to be curious. I was curious to see Ethos. He said, do you believe that they're telling the truth, that they're not ducking GTA 6? They just needed more time to polish the game?
I mean, it could be a little both, but no, I think it could just be polished. They moved from when to when?
Basically a month.
Was it 3rd? I think September 3rd to October 29th.
September, like I think 15th.
Like
I think it was September 15th.
No, I thought it was coming out
it was
before
right around
Wolverine.
Wolverine.
I thought it was before.
They probably
Wolverine.
started Wolverine. Why does GTA matter? GTA comes out in November, right?
September 9th.
Oh,
That's
9th.
what it was.
Okay.
September
Yeah,
9th.
if GTA's coming out in November, who cares if they're in October? Why does that matter?
Yeah. I have a
Well,
theory.
they're asking because they're close to it, and literally while we're seeing this whole debacle in September is because nobody wanted to be anywhere near GTA
Not even
6,
in October.
which included
Also,
October.
Anything with GTA 6 in the title gets clicks, so like they could just be making it up in the article, trying to create some drama.
True.
Let's say that this is true, though.
Go ahead.
What do you think?
Oh well, I was going to argue it's not. Why do you think it is true?
I could see it being true.
Why?
The reason I say that is because Phantom Blade Zero is made by a Chinese dev studio, and they're making a game that's set in China. And Chinese games do not need the West at all. They do not care. They can make.
You stole my answer. That's what I was going to say.
All right.
I generally don't think they care about GTA 6 because we're talking about a country that just got modern consoles. They didn't grow up with Grand Theft Auto. So why the fuck would a Chinese developer? Yeah. It's not culturally relevant in China. Why would they care about that?
They'll be like, oh, another like Wukong popped off. And obviously Wukong is like a whole other thing. But this is another like single player Chinese dev studio that I think people would be like, oh, hell yeah, I'm going to play the Chinese dev studios game in China.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
they don't need our money.
Most of the sales for Wukong came from China. So I'd imagine they're probably trying to get their game optimized and right for their audience, and whoever else wants to enjoy it, they can come along too. But I keep in mind, it's 2 billion people in China. So I think they're more worried about their own market than anything.
Especially as like Phantom Blade Zero is a spiritual successor to a super old indie game called, I think it was Rainblood Town of Death.
I just learned something new. I did not know that.
Yeah. And this was released exclusively in China. So this is their first kind of obviously swing at like a global AAA market. But this game is essentially a successor of a game that was already super popular in China.
Okay.
So
I
don't
there
think
you go. I mean, it's not even the same game. So why would they even care? Like, that's just my thing. It's not even about like where it came from. It's not the same game. Like, this is going to attract a totally different audience in my
That's
opinion.
another reason, that I think that they're not capping. They're not worried about it. People who want to play Phantom Blade Zero, they're going to play it. Sometimes those games, those communities overlap, but GTA attracts a lot of people who don't like play games. The normies, they're not checking for Phantom Blade Zero, so it's not going to affect it really.
This is true.
Yep.
Do we believe this story? A former community manager from Bungie said that they've been broke. Just random on I know, but she said on Twitter.
Ooh, her or the Bungie?
So this dude asked on June 11th.
He's like, I've been broke forever. Okay?
I know it's a consequence from past leadership, but why does it feel like Sony is at fault too? Like, are you blind, Sony? The scene from the Obi-Wan where you're supposed to destroy the Sith, instead you join them. That's what he's saying. Like, Bungie became the Sith. And then this former community manager for Destiny said Bungie was below the red line before the Sony acquisition. If it wasn't acquired right then, the studio would have been closing its doors at the very least on Destiny 1. It was an emergency acquisition. They sold it like a crackhead that just had to get rid of shit, bro. They need the money. Do we believe this? I wish she would have gave like some examples of why it was an emergency. Like, was Destiny 1 really just not making money? I thought it was popular. Like, do we believe this?
Destiny 2 was out when this happened.
Or yeah, whatever. Is that? Oh, so I thought that meant Destiny 1.
Yeah,
So she's in reference to that. My bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's tricky. I have heard like rumors that they've been in trouble for a long time. I mean, and we also know for sure that Xbox saw that they burned through way too much money, that they didn't want to buy them. So we know that they're like kind of using a ton of money. I feel like I don't know how much she actually knows for sure, because she was a community manager and she wasn't there from the beginning either. But I mean, you can always hear stuff if you have friends in the company who is closer to the higher ups. Like, you can always hear stuff no matter what your position is.
But it's hearsay. It's at the end of the day, it's still hearsay.
It's still kind of hearsay, yeah. So, but it could also be a situation of like, say it is true. It could also be a situation of like, maybe say Pete Parsons said that to people. So they were like, okay, we got to make ourselves look really good for acquisition so that he can get this big paycheck at the end of it by selling to Sony, when in actuality, they weren't really in that much trouble. It could be so many things. If it is just straight up true that they were in trouble and they have to sell for Sony, I don't know if it's that, if it's somewhere in the middle. I would say there's definitely some truth to it, I would say, based on how much we know Bungie burnt through money with Destiny. I just don't know about like, was it 100% for sure an emergency acquisition that had to happen right then and there, or they have to close the doors? But we do know that with Curse of Osiris expansion, when that came out for Destiny 2, they were, I think they said, weeks from having to close the doors of Bungie.
Oof.
Yeah.
They had to make a turnaround. So we know that things have been sketchy before. So
It
not out of the realm of
Didn't
possibility.
sell
believe
as
this
much
thing.
as D1, right? I'm pretty sure like the initial sell was like it
I don't
didn't
remember.
I think it didn't sell as well as D, which I thought was crazy, because like that was the first time they actually introduced. Maybe I'm wrong, because that was the first time they introduced PC, because PC wasn't on D1, and so they had a whole new platform. And I think
Destiny 2 didn't launch on PC right away.
Yeah, it did.
Not instantly.
Wait, what?
There was a little bit of a wait.
Oh right, yeah, you're right. There was like
a tiny bit of a wait.
month, right? Oh
yeah,
yeah,
it was not
remember.
long. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I was like, yo, I'm tripping. Like, is it that long? I mean, this sounds like, because I did hear rumors about when Lightfall came out and it dumpstered bad.
Yeah.
I heard that was when the red lights were going on. Like that. That's what I heard.
For a while.
Yeah, I heard like what you're saying was, I've heard that too, but I did hear definitively from 3 different people that were like, when Lightfall, when the specs came back for Lightfall and it bombed review wise, it didn't, like when the reviews came out and they were like, ooh, and then because they went from Witch Queen, which sounded like they were doing good. Like when Witch came out, it's not like their revenue was going up. They were like, we're saved and everything was going good. And everything they were doing seemed like they were doing everything right. It was like going up. And then Lightfall basically got redid or something like that. And they were like, they rewrote it for some reason and they changed a lot of stuff. And that cost them money. And then I don't know what the reason why they rebooted it from what originally was supposed to be. But then they saw the reviews weren't good. It was like getting like 60s in the average. And then that impacted sales, because then people was like, whoa, it's not as good as Witch Queen. So then people held off on buying it initially. And then the revenue came back for it and it didn't do good. And then that was when I think they pretty much were like, we have to make sure Final Shape is a banger. Else, like,
and even with Final Shape, which was a banger, it didn't sell.
It didn't sell as much because a lot of people felt burnt from Lightfall. Like a lot of people were like,
it was a classic case of like, Bungie was doing good. Destiny, people have a lot of positive things to say about Destiny. They had Lightfall, which was the opportunity for a bunch of people to jump on board with this franchise. And they had that opportunity and it bombed. Yeah. So then it was just like a trickle effect after that of like, it doesn't, at that point, you have new people who were interested in giving it a chance because they had heard positive things for so long. And then this happened and they were like, no.
I mean, I remember like back then, it felt like when D2 came out, it was controversial, just like the first one. And it was reverse. It was like a lot of the hardcore fan base hated it. And a lot of the newer people who were like, oh, I didn't play it because it was on console and I didn't play it. So I played on PC for the first time. Or a lot of the more cash based, or just people who were just like, I don't care, it's Destiny, I'm going to keep playing no matter what. They kept playing it. But then I remember it was a struggle, especially when you talk about Curse of Osiris. It was a struggle because I remember, which is funny, a lot of people talk about, oh, I love Destiny, I love it. These are a lot of people, I think, when D2 first came out in that first year of content, I remember a lot of them were like, this game's gonna die. It sucks. Like, they need to redo the entire game from the ground up. They need to do another Taken King because it's terrible. And then I remember when Forsaken came out, that was like basically their Taken King. I got into Destiny 2 hardcore when Forsaken came out. That was when I was like, okay, I'm actually gonna envelop myself into the more hardcore aspects of Destiny because of this, like raid and all that sort of stuff. And I remember even when I was playing it, I remember when I was streaming it, playing it. It was when I was streaming, a lot of people were like, oh, this looks good. And they're like, how is it? Because like, we know, like you were very critical about Destiny. Like, how was it? So I trust her opinion on it. I was like, I'll be honest with y'all. I was like, this is the first time I felt like Destiny, like in my mind, not what everyone else said, but in my mind specifically, I was like, it finally felt like it was actually a good game in my mind. And then when that happened, I was like, well, what were you giving me? I was like, I think this is like a solid 8. Like, I think like I could see it getting a lot better, but I was like, this is like playing in what it was like and all this cool stuff they added. I was like, this, like the story was pretty cool. The everything about it, the raid was cool. All
the
this
raid
sort of
was
stuff.
so good.
Yeah, everything was really cool about it. And then, but the thing was like, there was always this lingering like, oh, that's good to hear that it's good, but you know, they burnt me too many times. I'm not doing it. And I feel like that this is basically feels like it's just been something where it's come back to bite them. Like all the mistakes, all the betrayal, the quote unquote betrayal they felt, the fans felt for a long time, players felt. I feel like it just burnt Bungie consistently over and over.
Fans been angry for a while, but
they've always been angry. Yes,
forever.
Don't let any of them lie to you and be like, we love and care about this game.
Every single expansion was make or break. I heard it from every single person who played the game. This is a make or break expansion for Bungie. If they don't knock it out of the park,
you can go back to YouTube history. You can see it. A bunch of those creators now screaming about we want Marathon to die and Bungie. You can go into their YouTube channels and go back a couple years, and you will see they were making literally videos talking about Destiny needs to die. They were calling for Destiny to be dead, to be killed years ago, long before we even got into the whole Marathon, before even the Marathon was even announced. They were calling for its death after when Lightfall happened. They said this shit needs to die.
To me, this is just another example of why I think live service games are the devil. It sounds like Destiny is a victim of its own success. Like you get the success, but these games are hard to upkeep. You got to maintain the audience by putting out this content and listening to all this feedback. And it just like gets to a point where it's like, I'm leaning towards like what Jay was saying like a few shows ago. It's like, y'all was on this game for like 10 years. You know, it sucks it shut down. I really feel for y'all. Y'all went through a lot of stuff, but all right, bro, can we move on? Like, nobody's happy. What are we arguing about at this point?
It's a strange thing with Bungie. With Destiny, it's always felt like they had a really good game that never reached its potential. And then the only time that it was close to reaching its potential was when things got so bad that the studio was about to shut down. And then they had to put out this content that was just unsustainable. Like, I remember playing Forsaken and going, wait, there's more? Wait, could you guys do that? Can you afford to do that? Like, I remember playing it and going, how did you do that? Because this seems completely unsustainable. And it is. They can't do a Forsaken every year.
Because you think about it, you're like, how the hell did y'all make the Red War in D2, and then you did this literally like a year, 2 years after, a year and a half, 2 years after. It's like, that's the thing that like morphs my mind about Bungie. It's just, I don't understand I just don't understand the consistency problems. That's something I could never understand about Bungie. I don't know if it's like, because it's like, if it's a money problem, why is it this? It's this. It's always this. It can never just be this. It's the same thing we talk about TBH when we talk about like anything we play, anything where like, it should feel like every sequel, it just keeps going up and up and up. You're improving little things, but it's getting better. But you never forgot the mistakes you made in the first one and do this. But it just felt like it's like someone smacked them in the back of the head and they got amnesia. And then they woke up and just repeated the same problem over and over again. And I get it. I'm not even a hardcore fan, but even me watching it as just like a player of the game, it was frustrating. It was just like, it was just mind numbing where like I would listen to my friends who are hardcore D1 fans, just bitch to me about I don't understand why Bungie did this. I'm just sitting here, I'm just like a little kid in a cage, like, oh no, I shoot the gun, it's fun. And they're over there just bitching to me about, oh my god,
it's not
like,
that fun.
I just want you to think about Flock and think about how Flock. Think about how Flock has held animosity to them because remember, he played the first Destiny. Think about just this over Gallahorn. That's all it took was for him getting hold on Gallahorn, and he held it against them.
He still talks about it in the group chat.
To this day.
Like, bro, it's been 10 years. What are you talking about?
Never let it go. Never let it
go. They won't let it go, bro. I just hope, and again, I'm not saying this like I want them to fail, but if that studio does go belly up and it disappears, I look forward to just the memoirs, the deep, the people who are just like, oh fuck it, I'm just gonna tell you what. I just really need to understand. Because I feel like it just psychs my mind. I just need to know who to blame. I don't want to do the miss. I don't want to stab in the dark. I think I know. I just want to either get confirmation bias that I was right, or if I was wrong, to really just blow my mind. Like, wait, that was what caused it. Like, I just need the satisfaction of just
maybe Destiny always was what it is. Because like, I also think back to like when Destiny 1 came out. Like, I can make the argument that a lot of people put their hopes and dreams and ideologies into that game. And they basically for what they wanted to be versus what it is. Because even me and you did it, Ethos. I remember when they first announced Destiny 1. I remember us saying on the podcast, "Yo, this looks like a mix between like Halo and like Mass Effect." And in retrospect, I don't know why the fuck we said that shit. So imagine it's probably because it was just space. So imagine those the people who actually genuinely love the game. I think it's because they have this idea of what it's supposed to be, and what if Bungie is exactly where they are because that's just what they are.
I mean, we should have just known from the get-go when they didn't put their lore in the game and they made you go to the Grimoire website, the first day when it came out.
That's when I jumped off the bus. I'm not going to no website to read the story. What?
Yeah, no, you're mad. Yeah, you're like,
where it's like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, what are we doing?
You guys could have put the lore in the game like a codex in Mass Effect. You put it on the website. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, bro. I don't know, man. That's the thing. It's like, I'm cool with them. Like, I get when people tell me like when it's their favorite game and how much it's done for them and that sort of stuff. But I've always felt like I've always had this mismatch with people where I'm like, I get this could be your favorite game, but I feel like objectively, I've never, and I agree with what you're saying, Watts, where I'm like, it's always felt this game where it's like, it's close to becoming this 9 out of 10. Like it's close to becoming like this, and this is the frustrating part, what Halo has been. Which Halo has been like literally stamped as being like this masterpiece of FPS and this innovator of FPS. I feel like Destiny is like, I'd argue it was an innovator. It changed the industry. Like there's no way we can ever deny it that. Like it definitely changed the way people looked at live service and even shooters. So many games try to replicate its formula and failed. But at the same time, it's just like, I think it failed itself. I don't think it could ever live up to, I don't know. And again, is that just because of the money? Is that just because they should have never tried to make it a light MMO? They should have just gone full blown and say, yeah, it's just going to be an MMO. I don't know. Maybe it was just a design mistake. Like maybe they should have never made this type of complex game. Who knows?
It was just downhill from them deciding to not be this thing that releases and then an expansion releases and an expansion and turning it into a live service game.
Yeah.
Maybe that decision was the downfall.
Maybe it should have been Monster Hunter. I agree with you. Maybe they should have just done the Monster Hunter. Maybe it should have been. And just give it one expansion and never had given players that expectation of. I think the worst mistake, they should have just never said the whole, this is a 10-year journey. I feel like that's when they stabbed themselves.
Way high expectations.
Yeah.
I have one more question for y'all before we move on. Because now it had me curious. Do y'all remember when Bungie initially broke away from Activision?
And everybody thought it was
2019.
Happy days.
Yeah, that has me thinking because I'm like, if the same thing is happening and y'all had money problems basically since the beginning, because when you first came out with D1, all right, you initially broke away from Microsoft, right? And you're like, okay, we're gonna go make Destiny, and then you get to this point where Activision feels like you're not making them any money. And then you're like, okay, well, let's go. Because I'm seeing here, it said after Forsaken didn't live up to expectations, according to Activision. And that was one of the factors as far as why Bungie was like, yeah, we're out of here in 2019. So you go 3 years and then Sony acquires you. And it seemed like the same thing ended up happening. You still bring out some expansion that people don't like, and then you bring out this banger. It's just like you say, Ethos, this up and down roller coaster, and you have all these mixed feelings of how overall D2 players or Destiny players overall feel. It leads us to believe, like, what is the true problem? Because you've had this opportunity where you were by yourself, that you were fully independent, and you still weren't able to meet those expectations, because now you don't have anybody at the top saying, hey, you're not making us any money. You need to do layoffs, or you need to do this, you need to do that. Because Activision obviously had their own plans on what they wanted Bungie to do. And Bungie was like, nah, we had the 10-year deal where we're out of here. We're gonna kill the deal. So you still had the 3-year period. You were by yourself. You still figured out it didn't work. And now we have this whole, maybe, this was a true emergency acquisition in order to save y'all, because y'all bleeding through money and y'all weren't able to recover. So who's the true problem? It made me think that it was Bungie. I think Bungie was just a little too overzealous with their original plan to make this behemoth that was Destiny and D2. And it probably wasn't Activision and Sony, prying their hands in there. I could say that they were a factor, but it just leads me to believe that they weren't the true problem here. They weren't the true issue as to why now Destiny 2 was in this last expansion, and then that's it for them.
It's been a lot of stuff with Bungie that even from Halo days, you hear about the Halo crunch days, making those games actually be able to get out the door, and everyone's like, Jesus Christ, that was actual hell on earth. And then Destiny 1 story was scrapped, rewritten because the story sucked. So there's always been these things. Marathon was different. It got scrapped, had to start again. So all of these things keep happening with Bungie, where it's like they're doing something. Like they're making the mistake after the pre-production stage, and then they have to change everything, and that takes a bunch of time. And then they're just like working super long hours, crunching really hard to put something together and get it out there. And it to me, it kind of seems like maybe their luck just ran out. Maybe. And we're in an industry where it's so expensive now that being scrappy and working really hard and doing these crazy hours to try and put something together just doesn't work now.
Out of curiosity, just a hypothetical. Tomorrow Bungie collapses. How do you feel the fan base would react to that if it happened?
Ecstatic.
Not wishing it, by the way.
Ecstatic.
I think, yeah. Do you know how many things I've read about, like, if they don't make Destiny 3, then they deserve to die?
Yep.
Like,
really?
I've heard that so
I've seen
much.
so many of those. Yeah.
Actually,
and I'm like,
you say, what if you tell them, and you tell, like, that's what Landon was saying. It was like, if you tell them there's no way you get D3 without Bungie, who's going to make it? Who else is going to make it?
No, I believe,
it's not going to feel like it. Who's going to make it? And they'll dead ass took to your face. They'll break, their cognitive dissonance literally breaks, and they just go, I don't care.
I don't care.
Can die.
No, I believe you, because now that I think about it, I've had a death threat 3 times in my career, and one of them was during Destiny 1. I got threatened to be killed over because I in my original review, because this is before Taken King, I gave Destiny 1 a 6 out of 10, and somebody messaged me and said he's gonna kill me. I was like, oh, okay.
I remember when the 6 out of 10, you were like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? It's like the what's the name of that what's his name, Gillis, the comedian, the white comedian, where he has the gun. Shane Gillis. You know when he has the gun, and he's like pointing at them, he puts it in himself, and then he's like points it back at. I feel like that's literally the Bungie community. They'll point the gun at everybody else, then they'll point it at themselves, then they'll point it back at everybody else. They do not care anymore. I've said before, I don't know what stage of grief they're in right now. I'm pretty sure this is a mix of like anger and bargaining, which is bargaining is, I guess, if you don't give me D3, I don't care if you die. And then they're gonna get to the acceptance stage, and if that's when D3 dies, they'll be joyous and be like, oh yeah, fuck it, we got Marathon. But there's gonna be a quiet moment 6 months in the future where they'll just sit there. And then they'll notice D2 go down. That? There's no service. D2 will literally go down. The service will go down. Now you can't even play Destiny 2 anymore. And they're going to sit there in the dark and be like, wow. Yeah, well, we had some good memories, man, but we can't play none of it. You can still play Halo, but you can't play Destiny. Because who's keeping the servers on? Yeah. Who's keeping the servers on? You got rid of them.
If I was a Destiny dev and I see all these Destiny players saying, I don't care if you get fired, I don't care if you lose your job, if you're not making Destiny 3, I'd go, I'm out of here.
Fuck them. Yeah. I'm gone. Yeah, I'd be like that Bernie Mac meme. Fuck them. I'd be gone, bro. That's the way. After everything I busted my ass, right? And then you tell,
and
then someone tell you
so like, much.
Yeah,
the work that I did, and now you don't care if I have.
You know how much like years of my life I've shaved off late night trying to get that raid ready for you, and I busted my ass, and it wasn't my fault why I went through hell. And you're telling me you don't care if I lose my job? Nah, fuck you. I leave straight up. I would leave. I let Destiny go to hell.
I didn't get Onimusha for 14 years. I don't think I ever said once that I want Capcom to die and everybody to get fired.
Right?
Oh, not once.
It's unhinged.
Never been to that point.
Unhinged, man. It's completely unhinged. But there's apparently, because I've seen BioWare fans do it. I've seen BioWare fans be like, You know what? Fuck them.
Is it a space
when
thing?
Anthem happened, I think it's a sci-fi thing. I think it's specifically about sci-fi. Because when Anthem happened and when it flopped, oh my
Star Wars
God.
fans are in unhinged too.
Star Wars fans.
Out of the atmosphere, so they're out of their mind. That's what it is.
Yeah, in space, and that's where their game brain is going.
We found the code.
Crack the
Go make a
code.
space game. Oh
It's
my
all
God, don't
sci-fi.
do it.
That's freaking funny, man. That was a fun conversation, though. I'm curious to see how people respond to that in the comment section. What y'all
Titanfall
think
the same
about
way.
it? Yeah, that's a space game. Yeah. It's time for the lightning round, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't know if these were like, worth going and engage conversations. So I mean, y'all can talk as little or as much as you like about the next few things. We're going to go through them real quick. First and foremost, Blade is not dead. A lot of people were upset that Blade didn't show up to the Xbox showcase, which to that I say, why are you shocked? Blade will get, when they're ready to show it, it will have its own showcase, the same way Gears of War did. This is one of their biggest games, but it's been confirmed it's not dead. People thought it was dead because it didn't show up during E3 season. One of the fans asked one of the lead artists where the game was at, and they replied, "Let us cook." So it's coming. It'll probably get shown next year in 2027 at some point, maybe this time next year.
Let Arcade cook. You gotta
If
let
they
it
have
cook,
nothing to
bro.
show, don't show it at all.
They make some of the most complex ass games, and those games just take a long time to build correctly.
I don't want you to show a game and it's not out 9 years later.
Exactly.
Okay? Show me when you're good.
Anytime somebody says that, like, where's Blade? Where's Blade? I say, I want you to Google something. This is for everybody in the chat. Anybody who's worried about where's Blade at, I want you to Google Dishonored 2 Clockwork Mansion. And I want you to Google the behind the scenes. And then I want you to watch a video. There's a video, I think it's from NoClip. I want you to watch for them to explain to you how long it took for them to build that complex ass level. Let them cook, bro. Give them some time, bro. They'll go make it. It'll be good.
They know they
And
can't
you'll
fuck
be
up with Blade. They gonna get
And you
cooked on
can't.
the internet.
Something that definitely was kind of in the middle type of ground thing. Yeah, they got
Blade already been through some mess, not only with the not the video game,
movie.
but the movie. And I'm just like, bro, yeah. So they need to make sure that we can get something Blade related. So I get it. I understand.
And the best part is, since I know it's from Arcane, it's not going to play anything like an Insomniac game. That's the best part about it. That's why I love the most. Right. It's not going to play anything like Wolverine or.
I am worried that it's going to play too much like what's the joint with Corvo?
Dishonored.
I
like
Dishonored.
You wouldn't want that though. Like I feel like
I like Dishonored, but I don't want Black Dishonored. Like I want Blade to be its own.
Black Dishonored.
Wasn't Blade basically going around like Corvo killing vampires? Was that basically what he was?
I'm doing? Just because I think the reation I wasn't a big fan of what's that other game they put out, the Time Loop one with the black hair, Deathloop. I wasn't a big fan of that because I was like, this feels like a reskin of Dishonored, and I even like the teleporting mechanic. I was like, I feel like I played this game. That's what I'm worried about with this. I hope this is something completely original from Arcane with new systems, basically.
I mean, could he teleport? Can Blade teleport?
Not to my knowledge.
No. He'll be good. He can't blink. He'll be fine.
All right. The creator of Avatar: Last Airbender, there was a rumor going around a couple weeks ago that so we have the fighting game, but there was supposed to be like a AAA RPG action game coming too. There was rumors saying that it was canceled, but the creator of Avatar said, fuck all that. That's not true. And he'll have more to tell us in the coming weeks. He actually released a scathing note on Instagram. I'm not going to read all of it, but I could tell that he was upset because he said he used the word chirping. And I've never heard a white person say, you motherfuckers was chirping behind the scenes. He said, I'll have more to talk about later. And he posted a picture of Zuko. So he pissed, brother, creator. I was like, yo, this is fun. Okay, Brian popping off, bro. So he said the game is not dead. Somebody at Paramount lying on his name, and they'll have more to show in the future. There is another Avatar game coming.
You know what? Did you see that tweet? One of the people that said he works for a bunch of lawyers and a bunch of like the legal jargon of LA, like
it was in the same. It was in the same article.
That's the thing where he said, I'm gonna tell you what's going on. He's like basically a bunch of higher ups who are like in charge, executives that are in charge. They don't understand why Avatar is as popular as it is, and they hate that it is that way, and they don't know what to do with the franchise.
That's probably why he reacted the way he did. He's like annoyed with Paramount upper people.
He's like they don't understand why that franchise is getting is like that dedicated and that hardcore and that they want.
They better be careful because I don't know if y'all saw the articles, but apparently that hacker group that released the movie, they trying to apparently there's a good portion of the new Avatar show with the twins from the Earth Kingdom that's done, and they are trying to hack it and release it.
Oh my!
Don't mess with them.
It seemed like you pissing off the fan.
You better give them their game, bro. You better
Watt's game Valor Mortis has been delayed. Something about quality of game October 13th.
No, they straight up said September is busy. We gotta go. And then they keep putting out tweets being like, games trying to come out in fall. Yeah. Good idea. Now, I mean, October honestly is not better because October is now getting also too. Super packed. But it's probably better than September. But man, can it not come out in August?
What's in terms of priority level for you? Like with S tier being the highest, what's the priority on playing this one?
I definitely want to play it. I don't know what I would put it as like tier wise. When I was looking at September though, I was like Onimusha and Control. I definitely want to play like day 1, and then like early October would be Valor Mortis and Silent Hill. So it's one that I'm cool with waiting a little bit, but I want to play it before the end of the year.
Yeah, I watched somebody stream it, and I was like, it's not for me, and that's okay. Like that first person view for a Souls game, I was like, I don't think I can do it for my mental health. But it is what it is. Where my Marvel Rivals fans at? Cyclops, he's in the game. Woo!
It's time. Woo! Finally. I know I still didn't play it.
Another duelist.
I still didn't play it, but I mean, people have been waiting on Cyclops. That's for sure. So for all the people still playing Marvel Rivals, they are very happy. I tweeted. I was like, damn. I was like, I might actually have to boot it up and play it, update the game. And somebody said, like, good luck. They're like, first day. Everybody auto locking Cyclops. I was like, I remember that. I remember those days, man. I was like, I don't want no parts of it. I don't want no parts of it. But just like any other new hero that comes out, Cyclops looks absolutely freaking busted. So they got to go through the kinks and all the heroes. But I will say, Marvel Rivals is still turning out the heroes. Like I will commend them for that. Even though I don't play the game anymore, they're still keeping up to their cadence. One new hero every month. So they're still bringing them out, man.
I can't wait to see the balance on this game like 2 years from now when there's 1,000 different characters. GameStop, it's getting worse. They're removing the PowerPoints program. If you become a GameStop member, you can collect points for every purchase, and then you can use those points to buy used games from the store. Not a lot of reasons to become a member, and they're getting rid of it. If you don't sign up by July 15th, you can't use the feature. And then for those after, it 100% ends on August 15th. So does anybody care about their PowerPoints?
Maybe Ethos.
Yeah, about the only way. How many PowerPoints you got, buddy?
I'm out of the check. I just need to switch too. That's it. I'm done with GameStop.
Same company that was trying to buy eBay. Stuff like this says to me you're poor. Like
it's giving poor, bro.
What's the point of being a GameStop rewards member if there's no fucking reward? Like what are we talking about, man?
I remember back in the day when they used to give you Game Informer. That's the only reason why I got it. I was like, I get her Game Informer. Man, y'all know.
No Game Informer, no cash back. It's just a title at this point.
What are y'all good for?
Half cash, half credit. Turok Origins, new co-op Monster Hunter type of game. Did y'all get a chance to look at that? I don't know if y'all wanted to talk about it.
I saw the initial reveal, but I didn't look at the latest trailer.
Yeah, they dropped some new gameplay. They shooting dinosaurs and shit with powers and stuff like that.
I literally saw it on Twitter. I was like, what the I've not seen this gameplay. When did this happen?
This don't look like Turok 64.
I was like, this got a co-op. I was like, oh, this looks kind of fun.
It looks fun. This one it depends on when it comes out, I think. Yeah. It could get lost in the shuffle, but it looks cool. I thought it looks good.
This was definitely a sleeper as far as that gameplay, because I've seen some people. I remember when, again, going back to Onimusha, when I finally got that announcement, people were like, yo, I want Turok. And now they finally showed it. I was like, wait, like nobody was talking about this. So I didn't know that the gameplay came out either. It actually looks all right.
It doesn't look bad.
Gameplay looks cool.
I hope they position this game to win, because like Turok's not a name that like rings bells like that anymore. So it's like, I do think where they release it is very important in like advertising, because Turok is a boomer book. Kids don't know what Turok is, bro. Most people probably don't even know that was a comic book.
They're going to say it's Dark Souls with dinosaurs.
A comic book from the 50s. It's a boomer book. So it's not something that's like popular anymore. But yeah, that one looked okay. According to reports too from Jez Corden, Ninja Gaiden 4 didn't sell well. Is anybody surprised? No way to confirm this, but that's the rumor.
It was also on Game Pass too, so I'm like super not surprised.
I feel like Microsoft just kind of put that game out and didn't really say anything after. They just kind of just dropped it. Didn't really show it any love. So that doesn't.
They do this with all of their Japanese studios. They did it with Metaphor as well.
Damn,
they were not advertising.
Why do you think that is?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like Xbox doesn't advertise very well in general. Like any game that they have advertising rights for, they just don't seem to really do anything. Like I have people who were big fans of a bunch of games and they're like, wait, that's coming out? I'm like, yep, Xbox is doing the advertising. So you probably didn't know.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Unfortunate because it's a good game.
It's very good.
Just got lost in translation. I feel like I don't really see nobody talking about that. And then last but not least, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 for all 2 people who care. Early access to the campaign has been confirmed. If you pre-order, you'll be able to play the campaign a week before the multiplayer drops, which means reviews should drop for the story first. And that begins October 16th, 2026. Who's pre-ordering? I said, who's pre-ordering?
Do you get early access just for pre-ordering?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Fable is doing a 5 days early access for $100.
I saw that.
And I hate that.
I'm gonna need a code. Fuck that, bro. I need a code. Microsoft, make it happen.
That's a side conversation.
Make it clap, about Microsoft. Make it clap.
Separating communities and stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's all I got.
Yeah.
Y'all got to add anything to the conversation before we wrap this one up?
You go.
Any games to shout
out?
Okay.
I played 33 Immortals, which went into official 1.0 on June 10th.
Okay.
So this has been early access for a little bit, but it finally went into 1.0. It's a little under $10 on Steam. It's also on Game Pass. They got crossplay. This is a game by Thunder Lotus. You might know them from Spiritfarer. I think that was the game that like really blew up for them. They do all hand-drawn games. But the idea of this is that it's a co-op action roguelite where you are with 33 total players. It kind of works out like Night Rain in a way where you're in like a map and you're fighting bosses. You're going into tombs and trying to get really powerful. And then eventually you ascend with hopefully as many people as possible. Because if they die, they don't get to ascend. That's it. Your idea is you're trying to take 33 people up. When you do ascend, you have a boss fight that plays out basically exactly like an MMO raid boss. So you're doing like an MMO raid boss with 33 people. And it's really cool, man. I really, really see the vision of this game. You can play with up to 4 people in your team, or you can do a private server and have 33 people if you have that many people. The progression is really cool. There's a bunch of really dope weapons that you can play with and they're not like different classes necessarily, but they can fit different roles. And working together is really, really rewarding. So if you're looking for something to play with some friends for like on the cheap, this game is really good. I think it's good.
I forgot it went to early access. I feel like it got lost in translation, but you're saying it's only, I remember I was interested in it. It only cost $10, mostly positive reviews. I might get this one and try it out.
Yeah, give it a go. I think it's one of those ones. And also there's a demo on Steam right now that you can play for free if you're interested. But I think it's one of those games where it's like, especially if you have, because like Marathon is 3 people, League of Legends is 5 people. What if we got 4 people who want to play a game? If you have a friend group that's kind of like that and you're like, yeah, we can hop on this for a little bit. It's really, really fun to work together.
Man, wonder what podcast have 4 people on it.
Okay. Anybody else got anything else to add? Shout outs, anything?
Yeah. I finally got around to playing No Rest for the Wicked. This game is tough. This game is tough.
It just came to PS5 too, didn't it?
I think so. I've plugged in 6 hours into this game, and I've been playing it completely co-op. So we have a realm called Woke Gamers, and I have 4 people that we play in it, and we're very woke in it. And it is phenomenal. I think the art style is really cool. I've seen some people. This reminds me of a Marathon situation. I've seen people like not like the art style.
If people don't like the art style, I will not respect them as a human.
They don't have taste. They say it's too muddy and the characters look deformed. I'm like, that's the style of the game.
It's unique. It definitely looks good.
Unique art style.
It looks like a painting, man.
It is. It's a co-op Dark Souls game. Like it is like different perspective, but like it's very, very hard. You will die a lot. But I like the diversity. Like you build your own character, you kind of just do your own builds, you level it up. We're still like early into the game with Sacrament right now?
Sacrament, yeah.
Yeah, but like I play with some friends. We've already doing some silly stuff. The monk class is cool. Like you just beat the crap out of people, grab them and suplex them and stuff. I was like, oh, this is crazy. And then it's got a really cool system, a lot of cool customization. The story is actually really compelling. It's like a mix of like Dark Souls and Baldur's Gate. That's the best way I can describe it. Like it's a cool mixture of these two. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know nothing about it. I know Watts was talking about it, but I was like, I'll get around to it whenever I get here. I was like, I don't know if I'll like this because of the perspective. But 3 friends basically bullied me into playing it because I owe them. And we didn't know what to expect. We went into completely blind and we were blown away. We were blown away so much today. We played 2 days ago, but like the day after we woke up and was like, well, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I might have to hop on and play a little bit.
Got that itch.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I got that itch. And then 1.0 comes out in October.
They haven't given a specific date, but it is October. Also, it is worth noting, like just before it goes to 1.0, they said that they might increase the price when it goes to 1.0. Currently, they have a sale that it's $27.99. So if you are interested in the game at all, it might be worth picking it up in the sale before
I'd say get
October
on
hits.
100%. That's why we were there playing it, because they were like, "Hey, it's on sale. We can play it. It's a co-op." So yeah, I mean, if any of that sounds cool, I definitely highly recommend it. It's really cool. The only con is that like if one person progresses the main story, it kind of progresses for everyone else. So if you're playing with other people offline, they're kind of like, good luck, buddy. Just look at the cutscenes later.
I might actually recommend that. Yeah, if you could even do a thing like where you have your co-op realm and then you have a single player realm. So if you want to progress the story, you can just do that without affecting anyone.
So if I started in a co-op realm, could I make a single player realm and will it carry over where I was, or do I have to restart? So I got
to you know better, buddy. You gotta start over.
Okay, that's my only con. They don't let me do that. that's my only con so far.
You could just farm. But not do the story.
That's what I'm doing. But I'm like, the story's compelling, so it's kind of.
I know it also progresses like areas that you get to go to and everything.
Yeah, like there's currently areas that are like level 15. I'm like, oh, ain't no way I'm going through here. I'm gonna get killed in one shot.
Coordinate them play dates.
It's a really good game, man. I got 106 hours.
I saw. I was like, how many hours is in this game? I checked and I saw like TBH only had 2, JG only had 2. I was like, oh, so it must be only like 12 hours. I look at Watts 68. I said, oh my fuck.
No, you gotta keep in mind we played it during early access. Watts went back to it.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I was like, oh my god. I was like, I thought this was like a 20-hour game. I said, I didn't know it was a 100-hour game. I was like, crap.
I really loved it, but I just forgot about it.
It was cool. Yeah, it was a good game.
It's cool now, though.
Just forgot about it. That's all. That's crazy. He wouldn't play it and even tell us.
Well, I would have played with you, by the way.
I wasn't gonna play it. A friend, they got mad because I promised I'd play a game with them like multiple times, and then real life shit happened. I couldn't play a game with them.
Friend, all 3 of us have recommended that game.
Look, bro. There's too many games out.
Apparently, our word doesn't mean anything, guys.
We should do a co-op realm. We should do a co-op realm.
I mean, guess what? I could pretty much start over.
I'll be honest with you. I just thought because Watch was at 68 and you two were at 2 or 4, I thought everyone was waiting for October. So I was like, I'm not going to bug them with it. I'll just play it on my own time.
You could mention it and then we could say yes or no.
Y'all are so busy. I couldn't do that to y'all. Y'all talking every week on this podcast. Oh, I'm so busy. Oh, look at next month. I would have no time to play. Why would I introduce another game?
There's nothing happening in June. It's empty as hell.
Didn't you just say you were about to play whatchamacallit? What was it? The Weeb game. Were you not?
That's in July.
Oh, that's July?
Yes.
Okay, well, there's something in June. There's nothing in June.
I'm playing the adventures of the millennial adventures of Elliot.
Okay, so there you go. That's another 50-hour game for you.
That's next week.
Okay.
I've had 2-3 weeks.
I'll invite you to the realm. I don't know how to do it. I'll put you in. You can just jump in whenever you want. I'm not gonna stop you. We need help anyways. We can't
play together.
Why can't we? Oh, you're too strong.
Yeah, no. Why can't we?
I didn't say you can't.
So you'll invite me, but you're not going to play with me.
I'll play with you if you want me to. I don't care either way.
Don't ever get old. You got to make play dates. You see what happens?
I know.
You have to make play.
I just have PTSD because when I did Baldur's Gate, when I did co-op, we beat that whole game through co-op. That was the most. I was playing with someone who had just had a kid.
Oh,
And then I had somebody else who just got a new job who was doing nighttime shifts. And then I had someone who was unemployed and someone who was gainfully employed. That was the most insane level of communication we ever had to do. I don't know how the hell we beat that game. That was a pat on the back. That was insane. I don't know how we did that.
You hear that,
Anyways,
ladies? If he wanted to, he would.
I would. So all ladies, if you want to play No Rest for the Wicked with me, I'm welcoming all ladies.
All right, you got the show floor. Ladies first, Watts. What's your closing statement for episode 194? Go.
Monster Hunter Wilds Ascendance is coming soon. That's it. I'm excited. The DLC, yes. I'm excited. Monster Hunter.
Jay, closing statement 194. Go.
Man, I can't believe the basketball is over, man. Can't believe the Knicks won. That's still crazy. That's still crazy.
In our lifetime.
I got my Heat jersey on. You can clearly tell that I am ready. I'm ready for the all season. So we're gonna run it back, man. We're gonna see the Heat in the play-in once again. It's gonna happen. We're coming back. We're gonna face the Hawks or the Wizards, maybe. Maybe y'all coming to play.
I think we're gonna do more than the play-in this year.
Okay, y'all go get AJ. Then don't fuck it up. Get AJ.
Ethos, closing statement.
I want to say screw you, my Twitch chat. These bums, they lied to me. They tried to deceive me into playing a gacha game because it had the Cyberpunk collab, and I was like, and they told me it was canon. Officially from Cyberpunk, I had the lead creator of Cyberpunk 2, so I said like, yeah, this is actually a continuation of the anime, and I'm a big fan of the anime and the game, so I was like, I'll play it. And then they lied to me, and I said, will I be able to play Lucy? Will I be able to get Lucy when I start playing? They said, yeah, bro, you'll get her for free. They lied. You don't get Lucy.
Wow.
So I'm very mad at my chat. So, and you know who you are. You guys all gaslit me into doing it. So I got to play another gacha game so I can play Lucy and see Cyberpunk DLC. So this is my life now. That's my June.
And my closing statement for episode 194 is shout out to the New York Knicks. I'm happy you guys won. Not only am I happy you guys won, but I'm happy you did it quick and efficiently so we can move on from this season and go to the next because your boy has been waiting for draft day. The Wizards got the #1 pick. I'm excited about the future. I really didn't like the Trae Young and the Davis trade. I still really don't like Davis, but we can flip him into something else. But now that we got Trae, the #1 pick, and we got some wings that play really good defense, Keontae George was going crazy last season. There's something here. There's something here. And if the Knicks can do it, they gave me hope that the Wizards can too. Hey, maybe Haley's comment will come around a second time. So
you need to draft your ass into fantasy. That's what you need to do.
He don't care about that at all.
Until you draft in that fantasy critic.
Hey, who won the NBA fantasy draft? Jay, let them know.
Oh God!
But you can't win this one.
Y'all don't play. We don't play for money. We're not serious.
Okay, well we could next time. Gifted subs.
Put up $5, bro.
Okay,
you gotta
$5
motivate me.
I'm
gonna be hawking that bitch for as soon as the money coming up. Like, y'all didn't update y'all shit,
subs then. We could do that then next year.
We could do
no
that.
excuse.
Yeah. Then it gets serious. It's more competitive, bro.
Okay.
He's still gonna end up in fourth.
I'm competitive for the love of the game. I'm a gamer.
Yeah, I don't need money to beat you.
I play games.
That's a pleasure within itself.
I got bills. But yeah, if you made it to this part of the podcast, leave in the comment section #DC Rising. We appreciate everybody who came through to the show. Make sure to hit the like button. Pray for New York City. Hit the hype button. Pray for New York City.
They still can't find the Statue of Liberty.
They blowing buses up out there.
That was gone.
Batman is working overtime. But other than that, yeah, we appreciate y'all. Hit the like button. Rate the show 5 stars, and we'll see you all next week on the world's best weekly gaming podcast, Gaming Illuminati. Peace.